Hello and welcome to Swim or Sink 22. I am Crit. I'm joined here by Bash, and
Was good.
I think we're in for some really exciting matches today. These IPL tournaments, especially Swim or Sink, are known to produce some really good action. How are you doing today, Bash?
Fine, and yourself?
Not too bad, not too bad. Ready to see our first set here, and we're going to be watching Universal versus Choccy Milk. Are you familiar with either of these teams?
I've seen Universal once or twice. I think we've actually seen them. No, we did see them last SOS. They played really well. Kilo is crazy on the Charger, and I'm looking forward to seeing how Choccy Milk goes as well. I wonder why they got a open for a surprise profile picture. We can't open it on stream in the HUD, so that doesn't serve any use to us. But yes, Crit, you are correct. Swim or Sink, all of the IPL tournaments actually have some quality gameplay, and I'm sure this time will not be any exception. Map 1 is going to be a good neutral starting map. We got zones on Inkblot.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, definitely a good neutral starting map. I think you had pointed out already that Universal has a pretty talented charger on their team, and I think that that's something that we could really see come into play here. There's some really good open spaces.
Oh yeah, if Kilo can get on the high ground like Obi-Wan, they can certainly slash the competition. But we'll see if Chalky Milk can do any answers for that. Maybe Universal might be underestimating their power, but all right, we're already set off. Kilo's got the E leader as expected, and yeah, it looks like both of these teams are just trying to position themselves. Universal has gotten themselves in a position where they're able to cap right away, so it really is just going to be down to winning the engagements, which it looks like Chalky Milk has been doing so far.
Yeah, 2 down for Universal pretty quick. So even though they were able to get that first cap right away, Chalky Milk comes in and takes the second cap. Some really interesting comps we got coming in here. I definitely like that we see that Kensa Rapid. I think that the use of that torpedo can be so crucial on a map like this where you're going to be kind of fighting from low ground a lot of the time. That's something that can really put a lot of pressure on. So I'm interested to see how that gets utilized. But that being said, Chalky Milk already pushing down to 44 points. And again, Universal goes 2 members down. They're really going to have to band together and start to formulate a coordinated push if they want to not get knocked out right off the bat here.
Certainly, and the kit with the Rapid is indeed devastating, but as well, the shots themselves with the blaster can be equally as brutal depending on the proper aim. And it looks like the Universal Blaster tried something there, couldn't quite get it done, but they've managed to capture the zone momentarily and slap a nice bunch of penalty points onto Chalky Milk. Was that a direct hit with a bubble?
Mm-hmm.
Atsu!
Mm-hmm.
Atsu just squeezing on him with the squeezer as well. Popping the champagne. Might be a little bit too early, but Chalky Milk does have a pretty good lead. All they got to do is stay confident, but not cocky.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we see here Universal's able to, for the second time now, push in, take the zone, but with such a big deficit, I mean, they're really leaving Chalky Milk with so much time to be able to come back and formulate a push of their own to try to take the zone back, which we're seeing them do really successfully. Right now, for the first time, it looks like Universal has Chalky Milk kind of on the back foot here. We have Archer Yu just sharking a really nice play here, waiting for something. And just like that, getting the flank on Eula. And, wow, the double. So 3 down now on Chalky Milk. This is looking like Universal's actually going to be able to make this comeback, It's like we had said before, once they were able to kind of pull together and start really, really playing in unison, it's amazing how well they're able to lock out this zone. We see now here Kilo, exactly like you had pointed out, being able to take that high ground and make so much work happen. But with 4 points left on the board, they lose the
4
zone.
points. What a heck of a push. If they can retake the zone, it might be really good for them. But Chalky Milk is starting to retake control, and they have taken control of the zone again with the funny penalty point number. But now it's going to be just a rush to whittle down those penalty points. Universal probably certainly going to want to go for the KO or at least put on a good defensive effort. Chalky Milk going to try to whittle down, try to retake the lead. This is a really tense spot for both squads. Chalky Milk has the opportunity to make a statement with the comeback. Universal making a statement of their own with their drive. But either way, there is lots of momentum for these teams to pick up. These engagements are going left and right. It's really tight. What do you think the winning team is going to do to take this? What do you think is going to be the deciding factor?
Well, I think we're at a point now where, the team, if Chalky Milk is going to take this, they're going to need to be able to hold the zone and get such a good lockout. And, on that same note, in order for Universal to hold the lead for a full minute, which they need to do, they'll also need to be able to keep that, take the zone back and then keep that lockout on Chalky Milk. So I think what we're going to see here is the team that's going to come out on top is a team that can not take the zone, because I think we've seen already that both of these teams are very adept at taking the zone from each other, but the one that can hold it long enough, the one that can really make it that much more difficult for their opponent to come in. And here we see it.
And Yeah, Chalky Milk doing a really good job putting on the pressure. Just good specials coordination. Just, I think it was Ganyu with the Tri-Slosher putting on a lot of pressure, just snaking around and just shooting buckets of paint from all sides. Yeah, nah, Universal might have had the high ground. Kilo might have had the high ground, but Chalky Milk just executed Order 66 right there. What a start to the set.
You know, in situations like that where you're able to put on such a phenomenal push at the start of the game, push all the way down to 9 points, have so much confidence, and then to lose that lead and see Universal come back and push all the way down to 4 points, it is so difficult to keep that mentality and to not sort of check out and to not just crack under the pressure and be unable to come back and take the lead back for yourselves. So to see Chalky Milk able to do that, to be put on the back foot in a position that looked so bad for them, and then be able to pick that momentum right back up where they had left off in the beginning and be able to come back and get the knockout is really impressive. And this is the first time that I've seen this team playing on stream, and already I'm very impressed.
Certainly, that tenacity and that perseverance is so admirable. I like to think it was a wake-up slap for them. They saw what was going on and they were like, okay, time to readjust. But right now, we're heading into Clam Blitz on Snapper Canal. We'll see if Chalky Milk can stay more consistent. We'll see if Universal can gain the momentum right away and try to put Chalky Milk in the same situation they were put in. Right now, we see slight changes to the lineup. Kilo using the Bamboozler, which I do think is a little bit better for this map than the E-Leader, given the irregular terrain. And right now, they're just spread out and picking up clams. What's your prediction for this map?
This is, I think, going to be a much faster game, like you said, right off the bat. We see that Bamboo coming out. We see the K-Machine coming out. We see a very similar, if not the same exact comp coming out on the side of Chalky Milk. But the game does start off kind of similarly. We see Universal come in, take the early clam lead, and then right away, they go 2 members down. So, it's kind of a repeat of last game where for the first couple seconds, Universal looks like they have a great opening strategy, and then they start losing the early team fight. So something I'd really like to see from Universal here is I think that they have such a good. They look like they're very good at playing to objective, right? They're able to cap the zone
There it
early.
is.
Right away, they break the barrier. What I want to see is them be able to start to win some of these team fights, and I think that's what will push them over the edge and really, really make them be able to play a dominant set here.
Yeah, they did a really good job at just choosing their moment, and they have been getting better at engagements. We saw Chalky Milk, I think, had the first power. No, I'm not sure if they did, but we saw them have a power clam, and Universal just shut it down just like that. And they were able to score themselves. Chalky Milk might be looking to rebound, and they might be looking to drive their own pity clam. But, oh my goodness, Archer with a 2-piece. Very well done. Yeah, putting that sloshing machine to work. Can't quite shut down the push from Chalky Milk as they break the barrier, and now they start to take the lead. Maybe they tripped up a little bit, but it was good seeing them initially gain the momentum. I think you're right in saying that more team play is going to be a big help, as they sort of weren't too coordinated with that defensive push, and as a result, Chalky Milk was able to score a lot of points. So maybe they'll try to make up for that with their offense. Try to push together, try to score together, let everyone know where all the enemies are so they can dodge the shots and just go to town like that.
Yeah, and even going up against such a huge push, I mean, look at that, all the way down to 38 points. That is nothing to scoff at. But right away, I mean, Chalky Milk, Universal, even though they're kind of on the back foot here, they are not letting that slow them down. Right away, picking up a power clam. We see scoring 1, but this is something that we see kind of repeated, right? The first push by Universal, they were able to score 1 power clam, but didn't have their team to come back them up and get those big points. And we see it again. They get the power clam in. They're able to score some points, which can be fantastic if you need those 20 points to take the lead at the end of the game. But, at the start of the game here, or in mid-game when we still have 2 minutes left, I don't think you really want to be getting those single power clam pushes, because they give you only a few points, and then they give your opponent a chance to take out some of your team members, get a few power clam, and make a huge push. I mean, look at this. Now down to 16 points.
Oh, yeah, no, this might be the KO. If they throw the clams right, No, it looks like Universal's just shut it down. But, oh wait, no. Chi-Chi's got some clams. They might be able to make a drive. No, I think it's going to be too far away.
That was
But yeah,
very
no.
clutch getting that rail.
Oh, yeah. Well done to Archer. But yeah, it was all about coordination. When Universal's last push, they had a second power clam backing it up, but they didn't really take the time to put on a pathway or try to clear a super jump in order to get that double power clam drive. They might be able to do it this time. Yes, it looks like they have, but yeah, they still need to pick up some clams. It looks like they're planning things more sporadically, which I guess is fine. But when you have a team like Chalky Milk that is able to just strategize a close to ideal push on the fly, Universal needs to be able to just fight with more fury and really make the effort to gather these clams and just put them in sequence, because it looks like Chalky Milk might just about be ready to end this match. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, another bubble direct hit. Atsu is just flexing at this point.
Wow, even with such a big lead, we see Chalky Milk absolutely not letting off on that pressure, right? In a mode like clams, if you stop being the team to pick up the clams and stop being the team to always be pressuring your opponents, then you are essentially giving them a free push. And Chalky Milk is obviously aware of that. There it is, the final power clam.
There it is.
Two KOs in a row for Chalky Milk.
That was not a match of clam blitz. That was that was like, you know how, like, when in a fighting game you practice against level 1 CPUs to try to do flashy combos? That's sort of what that felt like. I mean, Universal can still get this last match and put themselves up in a good position when bracket comes. Tower control on Anchovy games. I think I've seen them perform well here, especially with their backlining abilities. But Chalky Milk has just done a good job of putting on pressure and having unrelenting but also masterfully coordinated offenses.
Right. And, you know, Universal, like we've said, is a team that we know is talented. We've seen Universal perform very well. I mean, what is it, in your opinion, that Universal can do here to be able to take this last game and get some points on the board?
Take their time a little bit more. I feel like they're rushing into things with some of these matches. And with certain teams, they're allowed to do that. They're able to do that. They're really fast, really hard on the drive, and they're able to do things like that. But with Chalky Milk, who's able to play at a similar pace, but also put all the chess pieces in the right place, maybe Universal needs to start playing some chess themselves.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. We see, you know, 2 games in a row now, we see Universal take the first push, put the first points on the board, but it's always the small number of points, right? They hold the zone for 3 seconds. They score a single power clam. And in the meantime, while they're focusing on those small pushes, Chalky Milk is, you know, holding back, collecting clams, building specials, getting ready to make a big push. And I think in tower control is where we see that sort of strategy especially be powerful. You know, if you're able to really get map control and focus on setting yourself up for a good push before you make that push, I mean, you're in for a much longer time holding the tower. So I really agree with you. I want to see Universal be able to do that same thing here.
Indeed. And yeah, it looks like, once again, just very slight changes to the comps. It looks like both teams think they have the general idea down, but of course, modifications for the map and mode. Kilo going out with the OG Charger just to get that sweet spot with the range, because Anchovy Games, is just sort of all over the place with ranges. And of course, having a Stingray on tower control is very vital. Looks like Chalky Milk is approaching the first checkpoint, and it looks like that Squeezer was trying to put some pressure on to assist the push, but that Stingray's come out. But it doesn't look like Chalky Milk is exactly... Oh, wait, no, they have just lost a tower. But they've taken it right back, and they're really just fighting tooth and nail against Universal.
Yeah, and look how far up we see their Slayers pushing, right? The Squeezer and the Luna Blaster, which is a really interesting choice of weapons, by the way. I love that we're seeing the vanilla Luna Blaster come out here. But as soon as their team grabs the tower and starts pushing, they push up so far and are just putting so much pressure on Universal. But now a couple of members of Chalky Milk go down, and we see Universal for the first time in this game having their opportunity to grab the tower and put some points on the board. Let's see if they can make something happen here.
Indeed. Yeah, no, these are some tense engagements. Bishop kind of trying to get something with the baller. Does a good job of painting, but of course Chalky Milk slaps it right back. And Universal takes the tower for a little bit using the offensive Stingray. Are they in a position to do that? Well, it looks like they're doing a good job of pushing right now. And they've approached checkpoint 1, and they might be able to get past. Only 5 more points until they take the lead. There it is. Bishop just dipping and diving, going all over the place. Kilo on the tower, taking Overwatch on the tower, going to try to counter snipe, but it looks like they get taken out, and the tower has been reset.
It certainly has. Going back to center now, I mean, one thing that I want to point out there is that when we saw Universal in a position to make a push, they didn't do it right away. You know, it's just like you said. What they did instead was they got 2 picks. They took out the Squeezer and they took out the Nautilus, and then one of their team members got on the tower and started pushing. And then they were able to take out the Luna Blaster as well, you know? I mean, when you put yourself in a situation like that where you take the time to focus on the team fight and win the team fight before you start that push, I mean, we see where it got them right there. Now with the lead down to 46, which puts Chalky Milk on the back foot here. I mean, they're kind of scrambling to make this up, but they still do have 2 minutes to make a successful push, so we'll see what they can do here. Both teams with 1 special on the board, but Chalky Milk going 2 members down.
Oh, wow. But yeah, Universal's is doing a good job just winning those team fights, putting on that pressure. They actually wiped Chalky Milk momentarily. But yeah, that's just what it's about. Playing chess, knowing exactly how and when to put pressure, coordinating the team. Archer putting that Inkjet to work very briefly, but that might just have been the version that they need as the armor gets in play. And yeah, just before, it looks like they were just being tripped up by Chalky Milk, but now that they've slowed down, they've taken a breather, they've tried to be more methodical, they're now having the overwhelming advantage and might even be on the verge of a knockout pending this push.
I mean, for the last 15 seconds, it looks like Chalky Milk has been at least 2 members down at all times. I mean, this is exactly what Universal needed, and there it is.
There it is.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
The knockout.
Universal may not have won the set overall, but they did succeed in sending a message, and that is, we can adapt. We know what we're doing. You can put a challenge in front of us, and we can take a good crack at it. Of course, props to Chalky Milk for taking those first 2 maps with authority, but I definitely think this won't be the last that we see Universal on stream.
No, certainly not. Certainly not. You know, like you said, what we saw there was really fantastic adaptation. They were able to consider what it was that they were doing, consider what it was that their opponents were doing to best them in the first 2 games, and completely turn it around. I mean, we saw a really dominant performance by Universal in the last game there.
And of course, Chalky Milk sending a message of their own. We're here for blood. We're here to win. We may
Absolutely.
not.
I mean, that's 3 knockout games in a row, right? 2 for Chalky Milk, 1 for Universal. That's how you know we're off to the start of an exciting tournament, I think.
Super fun set, and this is only just the first set we've watched on stream. There's more coming up, and it will undoubtedly possibly even be more exciting. But before that, I sort of need a breather. How about you?
Absolutely. Let's take a momentary break here.
Keep it tuned, though. We are back, SOS 22, and before we get on to the next round, we are going to talk about staff applications for all of the TO hopefuls. IPL has opened applications for both Swimmer Sync and Testing Grounds. And in addition to this, we're always looking for additions to the production and commentary teams. If you're interested in helping out in these areas, maybe helping out on the production end or even coming up here on the booth, please fill out the form that is about to be posted in the chat. And of course, if you're interested in more than one area, keep in mind that you will need to fill out the form multiple times. As well, if anyone wants to donate to the prize pots, which is always very much appreciated, feel free to donate to Streamlabs, and that link will be posted as well. In any case, let's get started. This round 2 on SOS 22, we're about to stack it up because we got peepy versus 99.9.
We certainly do. And it looks like we're getting ready to get that match started here. We're going to be starting off on, looks like Rainmaker on Starfish main stage. What do you think about this map and mode here, Bash?
Starfish is always a funny map. There's a lot of vantage points, but also I see a lot of close quarters engagements. It really depends on how the strategies and the play styles of these teams sort of coalesce with each other. Because usually when you've got the runaway victories on Rainmaker, it's on something with a lot of flanking routes like Manta Maria or Black Belly Skate Park. You theoretically can do that on Starfish, but it is very difficult. So it really comes down to how hard these teams can play. I really think this is going to be a match of attrition.
Yeah, I'm feeling the same way. So it looks like we're getting right into it here. Rainmaker on Starfish main stage. You know, this is one of those maps where you can have those really big, those powerful sort of cheeky flanks, but really only in mid. So like once you get the Rainmaker past mid, it becomes a very sort of straightforward game where you're heading straight down and then up the ramp towards the podium. So wow, right away 99.9 is 3 members down before we even had a chance to really talk too much about the comps. And
hello. Oh, hello.
Pushed down to 37.
Woo! Yeah, Shadowwind tried to do the Gandalf with the Tentabrella shield saying, "You shall not pass." But one of the members of PP very clearly passed. And as a result, they've got a huge point lead. I'm not sure what 99.9 is planning to do. Maybe they'll try to reset the Rainmaker. That is indeed what they're trying to do. And they're trying to engage right now. K-Pro throwing out the Booyah Bomb with, of course, the K-Pro kit. And PP going to stage a comeback, but 99.9, it looks like they're awake. It looks like they might give PP a run for the... Oh, no. Commentators curse. PP's running it again.
Yeah, already picking up the Rainmaker once more. Push down to 34. Let's see what they can do. I wanted to take a minute to talk about how interesting this team comp is here with the 96 and the Blob, but it doesn't look like these teams are going to give us enough time to do that because they insist on nonstop action. So 99.9 able to take down the Rainmaker carrier. They have 2 specials on deck, and now it looks like about to pick up the Rainmaker for themselves, either that or let it reset.
Yeah, PP is engaging at ranges scattered all across the spectrum, and it seems to be working for them so far, but 99.9 might be mounting a push. 99.9's got I'm not sure if conservative is the right word to say, but I guess a more balanced loadout. They've got 2 shooters, a roller to come up close and personal, and of course that Tentabrella to mount defense or protected pushes. Ooh, it looks like Legend is going to try a flank, shutting down the Rainmaker right away, saying, nah, you ain't doing it 3 times. You ain't doing it 3 times, PP. Oh, but PP is going to clap right back. PP is not immune.
Fantastic use of that splash wall there that we saw there. Slosher able to finally take out that flank by the 96.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, no. 99.9, like, they're doing a good job of winning engagements when they need to reset the Rainmaker and put themselves back in position, but they've yet to push up until now. They've gotten 70 points. Legend is going to try to clear the area with that suction bomb rush. There is that incline, so the further you go, the harder it is to gather points. But yeah, no, 66 to 34, 99.9. They're probably not concerned with that incline right now. They just wanna get up close enough to take the lead. Legend at the high ground, going to try to rain fire from below, but peepy is very well situated. They've got their side of the map protected like a fortress, and the Rainmaker is already out of hands. The Slosher combined with the Sprinkler putting on crazy amounts of pressure.
Yeah, they were able to push down to 52, but unfortunately not going to be enough. You know, like you said, we saw Legend there up on the high ground trying to put on some pressure, but there was just so much suppressive fire by that Bloblobber that they were unable to do so, which is really playing to the weapon strengths there, right? Being able to sort of have just ink out everywhere so much that your opponents can't, can't stop sharking, can't get up and really fight back. So we do see the Rainmaker return to center, but right away, 99.9 picks it up again. They are not ready to roll over here just yet. Getting a couple picks, but they are 2 down themselves. We see 1 special on deck for that Bloblobber popping the...
Was that a direct hit? Did Shadowwind just get a direct with the Rainmaker?
I think it was. I think that was a direct onto the blob there as they were popping that Ink Storm.
This SOS is full of direct impact plays. You love to see it. I'm hoping the chat is preparing that flip button for moments like these. Right now, it looks like peepy is hanging back, and they're trying to play defensively, and it's been working so far. But of course, they want to push forward a little bit. You can't hang back too much. This is Rainmaker. Like even on Starfish Main, you gotta make sure that the enemy knows that it's an uphill battle if you're on disadvantage. 5 seconds left. Can 99.9 pick it back up? Nah.
Unfortunately,
and that is game.
Not. I mean, when you drop the Rainmaker with 5 seconds left, it really puts you in a difficult position there. You know, 99.9 was able to sort of pick up that Rainmaker and make a good push of their own. They were able to fight back, but you know, at the start of the game, peepy had gotten such a cheeky lead, been able to just kind of push past 99.9's defenses and put just enough points on the board that they were unable to really make a solid push back. I mean, I'm interested to see what 99.9 is going to change about their loadout here for splat zones on Skipper Pavilion that might be able to give them the upper hand.
Maybe they'll try to be a bit more creative like peepy's been. Try some unconventional setups, some unconventional, range distribution. Of course, splat zones is a bit of a closer range mode. Even on Skipper Pavilion, as long as you're covering the flanking routes, what really matters is that you're able to paint and you're able to win your engagements. So, barring someone bringing out a charger and just going to town, I think the aim of the game is just going to be fire rate and range that's just good enough.
Right. You know, in that last match, we really didn't see any true backliners. We saw I believe it was peepy that brought out the Bloblobber and the 96, which are both kind of mid to long range weapons, but you know, the Bloblobber, even having the same range as the Splat Charger, absolutely does not thrive in that range. It's really more of a sort of mid to long range weapon. So to see no true backliners, I think is interesting, but I think it could work coming into something like Splat Zone Skipper Pavilion. I mean, there's no question that 99.9 had a comp with fantastic ink output, right? They had that Splash-O-Matic with the burst bombs, which I think does such a good job of capping zones, and the suction bomb rush. So this might be a map that will favor their comp a little bit more, but again, you know, having only seen one game so far from these teams, we can't say if they're going to be bringing out similar comps or something entirely different. But here we go, getting into splat zones now on Skipper Pavilion.
Yeah, let's see what they come out with. We could be surprised with a backliner of some sort. Oh no, it looks like PP is going completely close range, and it looks like 99.9 is going to do much of the same. Everyone shooting except Fusion's got the Bloblobber, gonna blow some bubbles. And then one of the members of 99.9 out here with a roller of some kind. Shout out to the Glugas, though. Always love to see some dually action up in here. And it looks like right away they've just exchanged control very briefly. They had a little bit of a conversation, but now 99.9 is just going off on a little bit of a tangent, or maybe just subjecting PP to some very aggressive yelling, as it looks like the members of PP have been pushed all the way back. Susend is going to try to paint the side of PP's map, and then maybe try to go for some flanking routes. Just hiding in the ink there.
Yeah, this is an interesting map to see play out because there really are two very, very separately defined paths that your opponents can take to try to come back in. Wow, right away while they're trying to come back in, members of PP go down. Oh,
Yeah,
three down,
just...
4 down. That's a full wipe. That's a full wipe for 99.9 with 16 seconds, 16 points remaining on the board. It looks like this might be a very fast knockout.
Yeah. PP's just like, okay, nah, y'all got us. We're gonna let you have this one. Cause like you saw, they both exchanged missiles. The purple missiles were just painted green on the zone right away, while the missiles from 99.9 hit their marks and then some. It's watching it's just like watching someone just like stack their kill streaks on Modern Warfare 2, because they just went special after special after special, just allowed themselves to get that lead, and they just held on, and they never really gave PP anything back. So we've seen 2 maps where 2 different kinds of play styles were showcased, and both teams were able to have their go at the spotlight. Now we've got Clam Blitz on Humpback, and this map mode combo sort of seems like the middle ground between the attrition, just brutal action of Rainmaker on Starfish and the ink coverage and positioning game of Zones on Skipper. What do you think the winning team is going to need to do this time?
Well, you know, what makes Clamblitz on Humpback so interesting is not only that the actual zone of play is so small, right? Those 2 baskets are so close together and so close to mid, but also that there's so much room to hide and shark in like direct vicinity to your opponent's basket. This is one of those modes where, you know, I very well believe that we could see something like that Splash-O-Matic on the side of 99.9 that could be, you know, collect some clams and then just shark right near that ramp and be able to wait for their teammates to score a power clam and then be right there and be able to make huge pushes. This is the kind of map where we see the team that can really coordinate and the team that can push at the same time is able to put together these massive pushes because your opponent's basket is going to be so close to where there are more clams. So I think the name of the game here is going to be the team that sticks together and the team that manages to really coordinate.
And yeah, it looks like we're staying close range because, like you said, Humpback Pump Track is just a small map. It's like the shipment of Splatoon 2. And right now, it looks like both teams are trying to gain control of center while also having some of the members going all around the flanks trying to gather clams. Of course, gathering clams doesn't seem to be the priority because I guess both teams are having the same idea of, we're going to wipe the other team, we're going to clean house, and then we're just going to go to town on that basket. As we see missiles flying everywhere, we see bombs flying everywhere. This has turned into an absolute war zone. K-Pro just painting center as much as possible, as the other members of 99.9 are just trying to gather clams. It looks like 99.9 is pretty confident that they're in a position to push, but it really just comes down to making sure that they can wipe out as many of the team of members of PP as they can. As no, they've already broken the barrier. They're like, no, we're going to make a statement. All y'all are alive. We're going to push this in anyways. And they're already down to 68. Can they throw any more clams in? K-Pro, what are you doing? Nah, but it's too late.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, I really love to see that sort of flank route on Clam Blitz, right? This is one of the few maps that I think like this and Mako Mar are the two really big maps where you can kind of flank around to your enemy's basket, which I think is such an interesting strategy. Unfortunately, that basket was very well defended, so only able to make the push down to 68, which is good, but not huge. I mean, we see now 99.9 still has the Clam lead here, and just as I say that, a few members going down, but they are able to break the barrier. The push down to 64. Can they make anything else happen here?
Can I throw that power clam in? Oh, no. Nah, they had the members of peepy on their hands, but it's at least good that they're able to whittle down the penalty. And they still have that other power clam in play. They can drive at any moment, and this looks like that might be their moment as they pop the armor. Oh, no, they're just... No, it doesn't look like. It looks like they're just waiting to get all the team members back in center, and it doesn't look like they're really in a rush because they're in the lead, and they have 2 power clams in play as that Booyah Bomb gets a dime, and yeah, no, it looks like they're going slowly but surely, going to bypass the Inkjet, throw both of the power clams in sequence. Wow, just crafty play. Very good. I'm not sure if footwork is the correct term, but very good movement as they're throwing even more clams in.
Yeah, I mean, the push down to 34, you definitely love to see that. You know, something I want to point out that was so nice there was that 99.9 was able to really stall for some time there, right? They, like you said, they were in the lead. They had 2 power clams. They had control of mid. And rather than rushing forward and starting a small push when they had the chance, they just stood there menacingly in mid, all 4 members up, just leaving PP unable to push up, kind of leaving them on the back foot, playing defense for long enough to tick down the timer a little more, collect a few more clams, and then make that push in. I think that's such a powerful strategy, and it looks like they're trying to do it again, you know, just holding solid control of mid and playing a very patient game.
Indeed. And yeah, that's sort of just the ideal strategy of Clam Blitz, at least in my opinion. If you can't push, you stall. And at 99.9 has put on a masterclass of doing both. They've broken the barrier again. They're going to try to dodge those missiles. They're throwing even more clams in. 22, just like the addition of SOS. But they're going to see if they can't put in any more. Nah, they're not going to take that chance. 16 penalty points, not the end of the world. So another power clam will allow them to score. But I'm not sure that 99.9 is too concerned with scoring at the moment because they're already down to that score. And peepy hasn't even put anything on the board with 45 seconds left on the clock. 99.9 is looking to make a statement. 2 more power clams, 35 seconds. 99.9 is in a prime position to run away with this game, but are they going to try to plant and just flex, or are they just going to run out PP's offense?
I mean, if you're a member of PP right now, what's got to be going through your mind, right? You want to make that push, but every time there's the knockout.
There it is.
You know,
99.9 said, we have a 99.9% chance of victory. PP's like, don't tell me the odds. And 99.9 just shoved the odds in their face.
Absolutely. I mean, fantastic 2 knockouts in a row. Great job by 99.9 there. A really dominant performance in both of the last games. And, you know, they were able to put PP in a position where they just, no matter how badly they wanted to start up a push, it was like as soon as 99.9 finished one of their pushes, they already had 1 or 2 more power clams put together, and they couldn't stop defending their basket because as soon as they left to go try and start a push, 99.9 would have scored, you know, on their basket immediately. I mean, just being able to keep their opponents on the back foot so well and so consistently throughout that match was very impressive. A fantastic job there.
Yeah, the execution of 99.9 was just immaculate. Just like chef's kiss, right? Just, they had a checklist, they had the recipe, and they gathered the ingredients as soon as possible. We need 2 parts power clam, 1 part team wipe, you know? And Yeah, no, they just did a great job. And it looks like we're already moving on to the next round. Round 3, it's going to be Pick Up TBH versus Mocha. Hope everybody is caffeinated because you are not going to want to take your eyes off the screen if the last 2 rounds were of any indication. Crit, do you know any of these teams?
I need to double check right now, but I believe that Pickup TBH is some really high level players. Let me double check their roster here. Yeah, we have Barry on Pickup TBH, who I know is a fantastic player. Mocha is not a team that I recognize, but I think that we're gonna see some very high level play here.
Indeed. Just taking the time to put on that profile picture, maybe meme up that profile picture with some TikTok style emojis. It looks like Mocha's trying to have some fun here, and we'll see exactly how much fun they have with Pickup TBH, as we've got 3 maps that showcase some frantic play. First of which is Tower Control on Manta Maria.
I love Manta Maria. Tower Control, especially. I think that this is, one of the more straightforward modes on Manta Maria. It's a map that really has 3 solid lanes, but on Tower Control, it kind of forces you to take that center lane there. But I think that there's a lot of room for, for flanking, whether you're an offender who's trying to push in and get map controls for your team to come behind you with the tower, or whether you're a defender who wants to, say take that right lane and cut off the tower before it makes that turn in the street there, and be able to kind of come at tower from all angles. I think this is going to be an interesting match. Tower Control on Manta Maria is one that can go back and forth quite a bit because it's really difficult to get past that bend.
Oh yeah. If we thought Rainmaker on Manta had potential for strategizing pushes and approaches with the map layout, Tower is just on a different level, because just the slow speed at which that tower moves and where all the enemy teammates could be at any time, depending on whether they're attacking or defending, a bunch of stuff could be pulled out with varying results depending on execution. I'm not exactly sure how Pickup TBH and Mocha play, but we might see some exciting stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm certainly expecting to. I mean, this is a map that is not entirely neutral, but it lends itself to both an aggressive play style and also a more defensive play style, right? You have a couple good snipe points, but you also have a lot of spots where you're going to be kind of packed in so close to your enemies. So I think this is one where whatever team is going to win this is going to be the team that can really demonstrate their versatility.
Definitely. Yeah, no, without a doubt, because of all of the options available. And with Rainmaker on Blackbelly and Splat Zones on the Reef being the other maps, that versatility is going to be a huge asset. Whoever wins this map might be able to get a runaway win in the next map. It really depends on whether the skills in this particular map translate over to that fast-paced Rainmaker, where if the enemy isn't paying attention, or if you're just absolutely dominating them on the engagement front, you can just walk up slowly to the base and just gently place the Rainmaker down.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think that we're seeing kind of 3 very classic map modes here. Starting with Tower Control on Manta Maria, Rainmaker Blackbelly is so popular, and then Splat Zones Reef. I mean, these are 3 very common map modes when you think of Splatoon 2. So, the team that's going to take this, I think, is going to be a team that's well practiced and a team that can really demonstrate that they can kind of be useful in all situations.
So here we go. It looks like both teams are going with a up close and personal type loadout. Although Newt on the side of Mocha has got a type of ballpoint splatling, so maybe there's range on that side. And of course, we've got the Tent Umbrella, Yuma Yuma, I believe that's what the tag is, Gonna try to prevent the players from pickup TBH from advancing as they make their own advance. Mocha takes the tower. Yuma going to try to flank a little bit. Gonna try to pop the bubbles. No direct hits this time, but we are keeping that tower in play all the way through to the checkpoints. Just keep hopping on, and that's checkpoint 1 cleared for Mocha.
Yes, it is, and very quickly, I gotta say, I love that we see the Kensa Rapid coming out on the side of Mocha. This is a map that has so many walls and so many dips that you can hide around, and to be able to shoot around corners like that is fantastic. A lovely, lovely little double we see coming out from Newt on that ball point, and able to stay on that tower, push it all the way down to 29. I mean, Pickup needs to kind of band together and figure out a response to this, because right now it doesn't really look like they have one.
Yeah, no, Newt just putting it on with that ballpoint splatling. A very good weapon you want planted on the tower. Just a reliable fire rate and just a good amount of range that you can really showcase. Like, Newt had some kills from way far away with that. But it looks like Pickup TBH has decided that it's their turn to try to put some points on the board themselves. They've planted some armor, but it doesn't look like they were really able to get more than 3 points. Maybe they need to be a little bit more aggressive, and they need to push together more. Otherwise, they're going to be overwhelmed by Mocha's offense and special coordination.
Right. Well, something that I think we see that could play to Pickup TBH's advantage here is that they're running that double armor comp, which I think if they played to that really well, that could allow them to stay on tower for a very long time. So right away we have Barry popping 1 armor, and as soon as they do, we see the other army coming online for that tri-slosher. So, you know, if they can time that right and be able to make good use of it, this could help them to take the lead.
There we go, Pickup TBH. Yeah, I want to see them hand off like armor directly after armor. And the last time we saw that Inkjet come into play, I'm not sure exactly what happened with that splashdown that just happened, but yeah, Pickup TBH has put on another armor, but with the 3 others down, it doesn't look like there's another armor on deck, and it looks like Barry is going to have to, because the members of Mocha were just swarming them.
Yeah, definitely making a smart decision to retreat there, but I mean, coming so close to taking that lead, they've obviously shown that they have the ability to push this tower very well. So I think this is going to be a hard-fought victory for whichever team comes out on top here.
Yeah, it's really close. I'm actually very happy about how close it is. Both of these teams are working really hard. They've got a good thing going. Pickup TBH, it looks like their strategy has just been get the shots on target, but perhaps even more so, let the specials go to work. Let that composition work for you and put yourself in just the right position to maximize on points. Meanwhile, Mocha has been flanking. They've been trying to pick up TBH. So I think the edge is going to go to either pick up TBH if they're able to get in a position to make Mocha really uncomfortable on the defensive end, or pick up TBH if they're able to just gather those specials, do a good job of painting, and just, oh yes, just the armor after armor with the Inkjet coming into play as well. It looks like Mocha is half down right now, and they're going to try to put more points on the board. They have the potential to take the lead. Damage just putting buckets on. They're already at checkpoint 3, pushing that shield back. Barry not getting killed by the shield. Very good for them. Putting the other armor on. They're doing double armor. I'm not sure if armor stacks in this game, but maybe it was a confidence boost because
yeah,
that allows them to get the KO.
I love that we saw the jump-ins there and had the entire team standing on the tower for the KO.
Yeah, that was Pickup TBH going like, this is our time. We're gonna prove it by popping both of our armors at once, and then just making the statement with that extra jump. But it really could have gone either way. But now that Pickup TBH has that momentum with their more steady play style, maybe they could make it work on Rainmaker on Blackbelly. Of course, I feel like Mocha is more likely to try a flanking route, but if Pickup can get an early lead and then just keep eyes on every inch of the map, they could make it work. Maybe even try to go for a wipe and then try to force a knockout that way. How do you see it going?
Well, I will say that I expect to see a fairly similar comp coming out, at least from Pickup TBH, right? Running weapons like the Junior, I mean, is a classic, is good on any map. But with the Tri-Slosher, I think the Tri-Slosher is going to be so powerful here. I mean, we did see a little bit more range from the side of Mocha. So, I'm interested to see what they're going to do to try to adapt to that, right? Because at the beginning, we saw Mocha come out so powerful. We saw them make such a fantastic and coordinated first push, but it seemed like once Pickup TBH was able to start a good push, they were able to really hold that momentum with the use of all that armor. So I'd like to see Mocha come out with some sort of way to counter that, whether that be with burst bombs or oh, we do have a slightly different comp coming out, dropping the Tri-Slosher for a Soda Slosher. I think that's really interesting to see.
Yeah, Newt staying on the Splatling. And yeah, I do think range could be helpful. There are a lot of lines where you can just put sustained fire at range, like Newt has been doing in the vicinity of the Rainmaker. But of course, Newt will have to check their blind spots. Just because it's Pickup TBH, no, actually, just because it's Black Belly Skate Park, and because Pickup TBH, they've been really good on their positioning. So Newt doesn't want to get snuck up on, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I mean, there are some good spots that you could want to be in if you're Newt right now, but it's so hard to really lock down a solid place for a Splatling on a map like this where things are going to be moving back and forth so quickly. So I'm interested to see how they're able to really make use of that. I mean, almost a delayed wipe on Pickup TBH. We see Mocha now popping that Ink Storm, trying to get some map control and make this push. They do have the lead, but not by much. And we see Newt now trying to get into a good position here to start picking off some of the members of Pickup TBH.
Yeah, it looks like they're hanging right. So Newt will probably do a reverse flank, and rather than having the Rainmaker take the alternate route, they're going to take the alternate route and try to pick off the members of Pickup TBH from an angle. They continue to get their points, dipping and dodging, but can't quite plant it. But they still have that hammer. They still have Yuma situating themselves close to the Maker, letting that Tentabrella put up a shield. But oh my goodness, 6 points. They just can't plant it. Letting the Ink Storm try something, shutting down Pickup TBH's own attempts to push and try to maybe put the Rainmaker back in neutral. This is frantic.
Newt now making some really good plays for their team here, keeping map control around the Rainmaker, being, cautious enough not to pick it up. And the tent comes in, picks up the Rainmaker, and just like that, gets the knockout.
Yuma. Wow. The wall just pushing forward with the Tentabrella. That was very nice from Mocha.
Absolutely.
I didn't expect them to go for wipes, put on the pressure route. I thought that was something that Pickup TBH would do, but I'm pleasantly surprised. They knew where to put Newt so that the range of the Splatling and the sustained fire could go to work. They positioned the rest of the players so that the area could be painted green around the Rainmaker, and they just chose the perfect moment to push. So both of these squads are showing some crazy stuff right now. It all comes down to zones on the Reef. I personally think Newt will stay on the Splatling. There are areas for range, but the positioning game is going to have to be played a lot different than on Black Belly, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that ballpoint can do such a good job of holding down the bridge there, being able to excel at both the short and long range. I mean, we saw how good Newt was at playing the short range game with that Splatling, that ballpoint Splatling at the end of the last game, where they were able to kind of stay up as the sole member on their team to defend that Rainmaker and wait for Yuma to come back and grab it. So I definitely expect that we'll see that ballpoint make a comeback here, and be kind of their tool to keep control of that bridge. I think the Reef is one of those maps where if you can control that midpoint and have a really solid hold on bridge, you put yourself in such a good position to get that lockout that you really want on a mode like Zones.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what they do. But we won't be waiting too long as the match has just started. Let's see if there are any big changes to the compositions. We got the OG Tri-Slasher coming back out. And again, the combo of Yuma Yuma's Tentabrella and Newt's Ballpoint. Gonna try to play the game the same way that Mocha's been playing. Unconventional, but effective.
Yeah, we see this comp that's coming out from Pickup TBH, I believe is almost identical to their comp from the first game with that 96, the double armor. I don't remember if they had the K-shot or not, but this is definitely a comp that's been working out for them right away.
Damage.
They take first control of zone, a lot of damage, and a lot of ink output. Yuma going down, they have complete control of the bridge, and they're able to band together and get themselves in a good position. But we do see one member going down, that 96 going down. But that being said, I mean, Pickup is in a spot where they can pop armor, and they have the tools they need to be able to stay in control here.
A two-piece, a dime, and a lot of purple paint. Samage isn't just putting that slosher to work. Samage is giving it a promotion, frankly. And yeah, no, Mocha really doesn't have an answer so far. We might see that Ultra Stamp try something, and that manages to take out Samage, but yeah, no, they've managed to capture, putting 35 penalty points on Pickup TBH, but 55 points already. Mocha is going to need to do something special in order to match or exceed that, especially if the engagements continue to go the way that they generally have gone with Pickup TBH. They lose control. Pickup TBH manages to put on some missiles and a bomb shutting down one of the armored members. And they're trading control momentarily, but Pickup TBH was able to at least put control on enough to slap some penalty points onto the members of Mocha.
Yeah, it's not a huge penalty, but it is something. I mean, and as we say that, of course, Pickup TBH is now again in a position to make a big push here, as Mocha has just gone 3 down. Now we'll see if they're able to band together and make this push that they need to back into center. I believe this is the first time that we see that Splattershot Junior coming out on the side of Mocha, which I think could be a big help to them. You know, that map control that you can get with something like Splattershot Junior between its just sheer paint output and of course the legendary kit that it has with the Splat Bomb and the ink armor. So it's nice to see them making good use of that right there. I mean, we see almost single-handedly able to cap the zone, but unfortunately not for long as the rest of their team has gone down.
Yeah, they were able to hold it up only for so much, but props to SK7 for trying. Hopefully next time the team will be there to back them up. Right now, Jolt U takes control of the zone again, just puts on some missiles, and now they're trying to hide a little bit. Putting on some high ground, going to try to rain fire on that Ultra Stamp, but the Ultra Stamp is making its way up. Try to throw it, doesn't really get anyone. Going to try to break the shield from the Tentabrella, or better yet, try to move past it as Pickup TBH continues to mount control over the 2 zones. Mocha needs to, I guess, be more coordinated, probably pushes the team a little bit more, maybe try to get a feel as to where Pickup TBH's members are so that they can be more ready on engagements. Newt doing a really good job with that Nouveau ballpoint, but not really pushing, and they're going to need to get closer eventually because Pickup TBH is close to a knockout.
Yeah, 14 points remaining on the board. We do see Newt and Yuma doing a really good job of taking control of that bridge, but unfortunately Newt going down right afterward and unable to put the penalty on. Pickup TBH pushing down onto 5-4-3. Is this the knockout?
There it is. Yeah,
It
Tiamat did a great job of keeping the zone painted. Whoever popped the armor, that really helped as well. I guess all I could say is Pickup TBH just had a better game plan. They might have been prepared. Because maybe for this specific situation, because I mean, both squads balled out this set. We have to say that. And it's not like Mocha was completely helpless that map either. But maybe Pickup TBH was just better suited for this type of play style, and they really showed it.
Yeah, I mean, when we look at with the way that each of the games had gone, one thing that I'd say Mocha was absolutely able to do was to really push forward and have a lot of mobility. But something that we saw Pickup TBH able to do, especially with that double armor comp, was to be able to just hunker down in one spot and really, really hold control. And I think that played out so well for them in Splat Zones.
Indeed. And yeah, that will conclude round 3, and we will be getting into the bracket momentarily. But first, we're gonna talk about another tournament. Crit, take it away.
Well, here on IPL, of course, every Wednesday we have this tournament, Swimmer Sync, but that is not the only tournament that we run. We have a Reef Rushdown, the second one coming very soon, March 20th, in just 3 days, which is our newest bi-weekly tournament. That happens every other Saturday at 1 p.m. 1 p.m. AEDT, which is 9 p.m. EST on Friday night. And that is, I believe, mostly Oceania teams, which is really fantastic to see. More tournaments coming to other regions. Of course, we also want to talk about a couple of tournaments outside of IPL. Splatoon Amateur Circuit Season 3 is nearing its finals. This Saturday is going to be SAC's top 8 teams in this season's final. Whoever comes out on top of this is going to get a starting prize of $235, which is fantastic. That stream is going to be at 4 p.m. Eastern or 1 p.m. Pacific, and that is going to be for more of that, you can check out their Discord at bit.ly/SAC Discord. Oh
yes, SAC is a fantastic organization, a fantastic event. I'm not saying that just because SAC is also my hometown. Shout out to everybody up north. Don't know if anyone plays Splatoon, but they've got great organization. They've got a great crew of producers, commentators, bracket managers, everything. And it attracts a lot of good amateur talent. A lot of up-and-coming teams play at SAC. So I highly recommend checking it out. This Saturday's showing is indeed probably going to be an absolute riot. It's a little bit late, even for us in the Pacific. It's 2 p.m. Probably one of the later Saturday tournaments, but yeah, definitely make some time to check it out.
Absolutely. And before we cut to break, let's talk about one more tournament. And this is one that I've been tuning into the last few ones, a brand new bi-weekly tournament called Squid Junction that happens every other Sunday at 7 p.m. EST. It's a double elimination tournament that is open to all team levels. They have a counter pick format with a newly condensed map pool that was voted on by the community. So it is a lot of fan favorite maps. The fourth Squid Junction is going to be this Sunday. That's March 21st, 7 p.m. EST. So we're going to post the link for that in chat right now. That is also a fantastic tournament to check out.
And that is 4 p.m. Pacific. So that's even later than SAC. So, I mean, if you're not doing anything, if you're not going outside on Sundays, you don't really get too many opportunities to go outside because even if it's dying down, we're still in the middle of a pandemic. So maybe use that time to practice, get some scrims on with some friends, maybe some solo queue if you're feeling daring, and just go out, have some fun, prove yourself. There's no prize pool, so most you can win is bragging rights, but bragging rights are plenty for some.
Absolutely. All right, so I think we're going to take a short break here. Stick around. We'll be right back for Top Cut of Swim or Sink 22 right here on IPL.
Don't go anywhere. welcome, or if you've already been here, welcome back to SOS 22 as we now enter the bracket stage. You already know who it is, and if you don't, it's Bash. I'm with Crit, and we have got a heck of a round one for y'all. Perennial champions, welcome to Good Burger versus the crazy Chalky Milk that we watched previously. Now I need to ask Keenan and Kel if they ever sold kids meals at that fictional restaurant of theirs, because I'm trying to see how that special sauce washes down with some Chalky Milk.
I couldn't agree more. Welcome to Good Burger is a team that we've seen here at SOS before, a absolutely phenomenal team. And of course, Chalky Milk, a team that we haven't seen on stream a whole lot, but we did see on stream earlier tonight, where they took a 2-1 victory over, I believe it was Universal. A really, really phenomenal team in their own right, getting 2 quick KOs tonight on stream already. So I'm very interested to see how these two teams stack up.
First map is one of the more fun map mode combos, at least to me. It's my favorite map mode combo. Clam Blitz on Piranha Pit. This is going to be chaotic. For Chalky Milk, this right here, this is the proving grounds, because you cannot mess around with Welcome to Good Burger. We've seen Chalky Milk strategize very successfully that first round that we watched, but against a squad that has won so many SOSs, this is going to be a very good test for them, and I'm really excited to see how they come on. And of course, I'm excited to see Welcome to Good Burger put on themselves.
Yeah, I mean, Welcome to Good Burger. They always put on a show, so we're gonna be in for an exciting match here. Like you said, Clam Blitz Piranha Pit is such an interesting map and mode, because it's while it's a large map, again, it's one of those maps where the baskets are so close together that it makes for constant action and constant engagement. So I think we're going to see a lot of team fights and a lot of just kind of pick for pick happening between these two teams.
Indeed. Chalky Milk, welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? And they say, let me get a double dualies lineup. We
That's
got
right.
Squelchers for range and Dapples as well. And then we've got a N-Zap for armor and mid-range engagements, and a K-Pro, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Right away, Chalky Milk going 3 members down, Good Burger going 2 members down. So, just like we said, going absolutely pick for pick. We do see that foil squeezer coming out on the side of Chalky Milk that we had seen really dominating with the bubbles in round 1. So I'm really excited to see what happens. And there it is. I mean, that foil squeezer right there, getting the double, and being able to stop that first push from Welcome to Good Burger. But down to 60 points, so 40 points on the board is a good place to be for now.
Yeah, they just eked out a double power clam push. That member who was having 9 clams, they were just looking for one more. They threw it in there just before Chalky Milk could shut them down, giving Chalky Milk their welcome to SOS moment. But Chalky Milk is looking to answer right back. They've got a power clam themselves. They're pressuring with bombs. Eula's got a lot of clams. Atsu has to be careful to pick up that power clam with a poison ink all around. And they've passed it around. Ooh, it looks like they've got some engagements down, but it's going to take a lot to phase the defensive Welcome to Good Burger. Atsu going to try some bubble shenanigans again, looking for a direct hit.
Wow.
Oh, but they enclose and they shoot the bubble while that team member of Welcome to Good Burger was inside the bubble. So now Atsu's got 2 power clams, and it looks like they're going to try to do the same thing that Welcome to Good Burger did to them. But that defense is just crazy. It's just like a brick wall.
Yeah, it's remarkable where we were able to see.
Oh, but here we go.
There it is. All right, 1 power clam in. Can they make something else happen here? It doesn't look like they have the clams or the time to be able to put more points on the board.
Oh, Eula.
There is 1 power clam. No,
they were on the complete. They were on the complete other side. They were only able to make it halfway before the barrier came back up.
It's amazing to me how we were able to see their Atsu get 2 picks. It might have even been 3 picks, but with their bubbles and their foil squeezer, be doing so much damage, and then still, when they tried to make that push, Welcome to Good Burger still has such a good defense setup. I mean, it really speaks to how strong their defense is, that even while they're losing members and having picks, being
Ooh.
taken out. Oh my goodness, the push
And the
down to
super
30
jump
now.
with another double clam and then some offense. Yeah, no, Welcome to Good Burger is putting their pushes on very well. But of course, we can't fault the members of Choccy Milk. They're putting on a heck of a lineup. They're putting on a heck of a offense whenever they can. Of course, the Squeezer doing a really, really good job. They clearly know their kit, saying, this is my Squeezer. There are many like it, but this one is mine. But Welcome to Good Burger continues to serve up piping hot power clams.
Is this
And
the
is that going to be
KO?
the knockout? That is the knockout. There are no kids' meals here, it looks like. We're sitting at the adult table. Choccy Milk better turn that in for a Coca-Cola, because it's not going to get any easier. Of course, they did manage to put some points on the board, so that is pretty admirable against the reigning champs. But Choccy Milk is going to have to up their strategies, up their game overall if they are going to do any better next map, which is Rainmaker on Snapper Canal, which is possibly even more chaotic.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at the scoreboard from last game, those two teams were at such similar KAs. I think all in all, between all four team members, they were maybe at a difference of 4 points in the favor of Welcome to Good Burger. So I think it goes to show just how evenly matched these two teams are when it comes to just those fights that are happening in mid. So it really comes down to objective play here, and I think that's
Indeed.
somewhere where Rainmaker on somewhere like Snapper Canal gives you a chance to shine. Your ability to play to this objective and to be able to make that split-second decision of what path to take the Rainmaker is so important here.
Certainly, and on Rainmaker, it will be a little bit easier for Choccy Milk because the objective is just the one standing in front of you that you got to drive to the enemy base. You don't have to worry about picking up clams. You don't have to worry about necessarily painting areas where clams might spawn and keeping the enemy in check. It's just you positioning your players appropriately, taking the Rainmaker, running with it, and then just keeping the enemy at bay throughout those engagements. And with the engagements being as close as they were last map, maybe Choccy Milk can eke something out.
Yeah, we do see the Tri-Slosher coming out on the side of Choccy Milk here. The K52 on the side of Good Burger. The Dapple Dooley's coming out again, of course.
Oh, yes. And that barrier just broke instantaneously. Welcome to Good Burger. Looks like they are going to run with it. Special delivery. Somebody called DoorDash. I've got the Dash Pass, so I'm looking for some discounts. And right now, we've got really good engagements. Welcome to Good Burger is pushing them back, but Choccy Milk is actually... They've actually managed to... Oh, that's 3 down on Welcome to Good Burger.
Yeah,
and Atsu is going to... Atsu's got some bottle service right now. They're going to reset the Rainmaker, and 29 points on the board for Welcome to Good Burger. Certainly nothing to scoff at, but if Choccy Milk keeps it up and they know where to put their specials, if Atsu can go with those bubbles, pairing it with the bubbly like they've been able to previously, they might be able to put on a good showing, but it won't be now because they got taken out of commission, and that was a full wipe for Choccy Milk, excuse me.
Yeah, I think that, we were able to see, again, these two teams be so evenly matched in fighting, right? There's the knockout.
There it is.
On Welcome to Good Burger. So, we saw Choccy Milk get a full team wipe on Welcome to Good Burger almost twice. Welcome to Good Burger during their first push went 3 down. That K52 was the only weapon left up. And then as their teammates started to spawn in again and jump in, they got full wiped. I mean, so, twice in very quick succession, Choccy Milk was able to, take all those picks on Welcome to Good Burger, and they, still weren't able to make that big push. Even again, as Welcome to Good Burger has members going down, they were able to stay so strong and to be able to come back so quick and have such a strong defense and just shut down Choccy Milk's chance at making a push over and over and be able to start up a push of their own again after being wiped. I mean, that is so impressive.
Yeah, Choccy Milk just needed to follow through, like you said. Welcome to Good Burger was following through quite a lot. That delivery of the Rainmaker was expedited. Honestly, it was like Wow, that was fast. And what I was saying before about having to focus on one objective, that was an advantage for Welcome to Good Burger too, because they were able to just circle around the Rainmaker and just protect the area just all around it. They were one unit. They were a well-oiled machine. It was almost automated, their offense. Now we're going to tower control on Anchovy Games, so we'll see if we can see more of that automation. But I am expecting loadouts to change just a little bit. It is Anchovy Games, so if any of their players play backline, I'm trying to see them right now.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when we look back at the first set that we had seen Chalky Milk, they were so good at staying together as a unit. And I think I want to see a little bit more of that right now, right? They were so good at coordinating special pushes. And I think that we've seen a little bit of that this set already. But if they want to be able to turn this around and take a game or even the set, I think they need to turn that up to 11. And tower control is a mode, especially on Anchovy Games, where you really have the ability to do that. Positioning, just like on Snapper Canal, is going to be so important here. And so I really, really want to see some of that just even pushed further by Chalky Milk. I think that's what they need to come back and take this game.
Let's see it. Ooh, it looks like no, they're keeping it close. They're keeping it tight. The longest range weapons on the floor right now are Kenza Splattershot Pros. And I mean, you can sort of beam with those, but I don't know, Anchovy Games? I mean, both of these teams are able to rush pretty effectively, and with both of them opting to do that, it is pretty even when it comes to lineups. It's gonna come down all to execution, as it looks like Chalky Milk has been the first one to put something on the board, but it hasn't been able to convert to a full point yet.
Mm-hmm. You know, what I think is interesting here is you don't want to be without a backliner somewhere like Anchovy Games if you're the only team without a backliner. When your opponents don't have a backliner either, then that kind of takes away that risk. And I think it's going to make for an interesting game, and a game you don't see a lot where it's all these close to mid-range weapons on Anchovy Games.
Certainly. Yeah, Welcome to Good Burger put some single-digit points on the board, and now Chalky Milk is about to do so. Take the lead because Welcome to Good Burger didn't push that much. And, oh, that's a full wipe. And now it looks like Welcome to Good Burger is going to try to put some pressure on. We already see members coming up to the top platform. We see the splashdown coming down. And are we going to see a baller come out as well? As Welcome to Good Burger takes the lead. Fanta, Fizz, saying, nah, we don't drink Chalky Milk. We drinking some orange soda this match, as they're already past checkpoint 1, just putting buckets of... Actually, no, that's Fanta Grape. They're purple, so that's Fanta Grape.
That's right. Already pushing now down to 44. I mean, we saw such a stalemate at the start of this game. And just like that, Chalky Milk gets full wiped again. While they have the tower at 40, Chalky Milk gets full wiped. I mean, this could very well be the knockout. They're doing such a good job of just pushing forward and absolutely not letting off on that pressure.
And yeah, no, Ganyu with a 2-piece with the slosher, putting some buckets of their own, gonna let the tower go forward. No, they're actually taking the tower, and now they have an opportunity to try to paint and maybe push Welcome to Good Burger back. But yeah, I'm willing to bet Welcome to Good Burger's prepared.
That's...
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen at least 2 full team wipes in every game in this set so far.
Chalky Milk has flashes of offensive greatness, but they're only just learning to execute at that higher level. Because yeah, you can get full wipes, but you need to learn how to run with it once you get to that point. Although maybe it's a bit too harsh to judge them at that point, because at that point the tower is all the way on the other side. So most they could do was maybe push the tower a little bit past neutral. But yeah, no, it's good that they're trying things. They got to keep trying things though. They want to show Good Burger that they have potential.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we definitely saw them push up, be able to take control a little bit, but Welcome to Good Burger is doing a really good job now of being able to come back and take control of that tower again. We do see the double coming out from Otsu. Now 2 down on the side of Good Burger, and it looks like Otsu is pushing up, starting to get a little bit of map control. Has that Booyah Bomb on deck.
Just waiting for the right moment to pop it.
Yeah,
we got armor
carving
though.
away here.
Yeah, no, maybe just let the armor run its course, approach the checkpoint, and then but they got taken out by the squelchers before they can do the Booyah Bomb. And Welcome to Good Burger actually responds with a Booyah Bomb of their own. It's good to see Chalky Milk continue to drive, but it looks like, oh my goodness, Farge with the 2-piece. And the team is just pushing forward right now. And yeah, no, it's all about continuously regaining the advantage and putting on pressure. And that's exactly what Welcome to Good Burger's doing.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing good play after good play come out from both teams here. But, Welcome to Good Burger has this innate ability to just extend their pushes so far. And I think that's just coming in clutch right now.
Yeah, we see Chalky Milk try to do things with the specials. It's admirable, but Fanafizz is just going to clean house, keep everyone hydrated. We see the Booyah over there. Fanafizz is excited, and they're going to try to push towards the last checkpoint. Just 5 seconds to go. Are they going to go for the KO? I don't think they can with the time that's allotted. But yeah, nah. Just the Booyah Bomb. They're letting the tower come back for whatever reason, but all they need to do is just hop back on. Welcome to Good Burger. But no, it looks like Chalky Milk is going to try to drive. They're actually winning quite a lot of engagements, and it looks like, ooh. Yeah, no, I couldn't quite get the armor, and there it is.
Yeah,
Welcome
right
to Good Burger, sweeping up shop like it's closing time with a 3-0 performance that is worthy of a 5-star Yelp review and a Kid's Choice Award. But props to Chalky Milk. They didn't get KO'd that third match. They're learning how to eat at the adult table. So we'll definitely be watching them. I don't know if they'll come back on stream or not, but yeah, no, good stuff to Chalky Milk. It's just Welcome to Good Burger is a heck of a first team to play on bracket.
Oh, definitely. I mean, a team that's, like we said, is very, very comfortable in this tournament. I think we saw a really good performance from both teams. Again, to see Chalky Milk come and at the very least be able to take, team wipe after team wipe, winning all these fights against a really strong team like Welcome to Good Burger is on its own a fantastic thing to see.
Indeed. Yeah. It would have been cool if Chalky Milk did a little bit more, maybe took a game. Like they had a lot of potential, and I was kind of hoping for at least a 1 map upset, but doesn't quite look like we're getting it. But either way, very fun set to watch between two very fun teams to watch. There is, of course, more action in the bracket coming up, but we're not going to be the ones commentating anymore. We are switching up. But thank you so much for having us. I've been Bash Dash.
And I've been Crit. And this is, stick around for more SOS 22.
Keep it tight. Peace.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Swim or Sink 22. We are going to be getting into the semifinals. We've got two very good, almost pickup teams, mostly kind of pickup teams. We've got Fat Men 360 versus Potato Moon. So, Fat Men 360, which is quite the name. The number one seed in this bracket going against Potato Moon, which is mostly Arctic Moon plus IPS, and it should be a very good set. How are you doing? I am with Cater, who I should let them introduce themselves.
Yes, that is me. I am Cater, and I am doing very well. Thank you for asking. So, as you mentioned, we are going to be heading into this set. We only have a little bit of time before the game starts. Rainmaker on Starfish main stage. Any quick thoughts on this before we head into the first match?
I'm expecting a very fast-paced game to start us off here. If I know anything about either of these teams, I know that they are very capable on offense, and obviously Rainmaker, we all know how it goes. There's a lot of movement very quickly. As we see them loading in here, we've got Arctic Moon in the green question mark, seafoam green, that's what I'm calling that, and we've got Fat Men 360 in the orange. I'm excited. It looks like very aggressive comps as Dr. Doomed here, which I think is gamer. I still don't know. I'm pretty sure this is gamer. Starting off with this very aggressive positioning with the ballpoint spotting, the longest range weapon on the field right now, and already there's one person down on Potato Moon's side. They're putting a lot of pressure with those missiles, and look at all the map control. Only 30 seconds into the game, Fat Men 360 is already gonna be enforcing their pressure here as now Rain on the side and the Rainmaker picked up.
Yeah, really interesting comps out of both of these teams. Actually, we see the double splatling with the ballpoint and the knot coming out of Fat Man 360, and then the double gal out of Potato Moon. So I do want to see how those choices play out. The push is stopped for them at 66 by the Bamboozler, but like you said, they have a lot of map control, and actually they have also all their members up, so they could very well keep this push going if they want to.
Yeah, Shanak's just going to take it a bit more slowly here as waits for their teammates to come back to life, but as we see, Fat Man is still pushing up very strongly. We see it. They have the control of the snipe, and they're pushing up towards that podium, trying to get as much map control for that Rainmaker as possible. However, Dr. Doom with the Rainmaker is left alone there for Dark to take them out, and now it's 3 members down on Fat Man's side. They did manage to get the Rainmaker to 39, but it looks like that's going to be a full wipe on their side, so this should be an opportunity for Potato Moon to get back into the game here. It's still very early on and not the biggest push to come back from, but they are burning some specials here, just trying to get a solid footing, get the Rainmaker out of their base, and they're going to be looking for some picks here before they give Fat Man too much time to get back into the map, as 2-3 go down just like that.
Yeah, unfortunately, the combination of the inkjet and the bombs was enough to take them out, and so we see Jessica on the junior taking that opportunity to push it up even further, making it all the way to 18 before they actually get killed by a bomb from the opposing junior. So I suppose a little bit of karma there, but they still have a very, very strong opening there in the first 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah, and I love how quickly Fat Man was able to react to get to that Rainmaker, push it as soon as they had that advantage. They didn't waste any time, and that 18-point lead, while not invincible, is a very strong lead to have with over half of the game to play. That's going to let them be able to dictate, you know, kind of how do they want to play, if they want to play more defensively or keep the pressure up, as IPS gets kind of surrounded by Fat Man. They're just doing a great job playing off each other to keep this pressure up.
Definitely. I mean, you mentioned aggression out of both of these teams, but Fat Man just has been on this aggression for the entire game pretty much. We see the Rainmaker getting picked up yet again, and while it doesn't get any further, every single second that Potato Moon has to spend on defense is a second wasted for them, because they really need to be getting this push going. We see the Inkjet coming out of Fat Man 360 just up in their spawn, practically spawn camming at this point, and again the Rainmaker gets picked up and ticked down another 6 points to 12. As we head into the last 2 minutes of this match, there are still no points on the board for Potato Moon at all.
Yeah, and look at that. Almost a knockout. Only 1 point to spare on Potato Moon's side. We saw that sneaky play. I'm not sure which member that was from Fat Man, but a very yeah. So I think that's IPS. So a great play from IPS to just sneak by, and that push is huge because that forced the entire team just about to look back and say, wait, there's a Rainmaker in our base still. And now they look at there's still so much orange paint because of that. Just another play that even with 3 down, Fat Man was able to keep all the control in this game.
Yeah, we only have 1 minute and 15 seconds left, and Potato Moon really just hasn't been able to get anything done. I mean, the Junior's sitting up here on Snipe, letting the Nautilus jump to them, and also popping that armor, so Potato Moon really can't get anything done. I mean, now they do pick up the Rainmaker, get advanced in a little bit, and actually they are taking the opportunity, but they will very quickly get shut down by the K-Shot, and we have less than a minute left, so they really need to get something done.
Yeah, I'm just going to correct myself. That's IPS is the Junior on Potato Moon's team, so that was Jessica with that Rainmaker play previously, the Junior on a Fat Man's side, but a small push there from Potato Moon, not quite up to that KO that they need, and Fat Man just responding really well. They're just able to push together to find these kills so fast, whether they're making team plays or individual plays. They seem to be to just executing on all their kills. And look, the Inkjet's getting popped in the spawn again. Jessica moving up on it, not scared of any member even in the spawn. And it just seems like Fat Man knows where their team is and when exactly they need to push to have that advantage. And with only 10 seconds left, they are content to just camp this Rainmaker up here. Dr. Doom even falling down, not afraid of anyone running up on them, as it looks like this is going to be a convincing game 1 for the #1 seed in our tournament so far.
Yeah, wow, they just had so much map control. I mean, you mentioned that just in the first 30 seconds of the game, they had mid, and they really did not give it up for the entire game.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Kidder. And just look at those numbers, 21-19. Almost everyone in double digits on the side of Fatman 360. And while their name might be pretty funny, their play is not a joke at all. Those are some threatening numbers. Just, wow. Like I said, an offensive game for sure, but it seems to be kind of one-sided. But far from over. I mean, we know Potato Moon, a very capable team. And they might have gotten off to a shaky start there, but there are still 4 more games potentially in this set where they can find their footing. But they're going to want to start off strong in this next game. They don't want to go down early to a team that can carry that momentum like FM360.
Definitely.
Maybe I shouldn't shorten that name, but
yeah,
we're gonna get confused here.
We very much so. But we are now going to be moving into Tower Control and Inkblaw Art Academy. This is always a fun one that I like watching because you have just the places that the checkpoints are located on this map are really just choke points. Like, they're pretty hard to get past, but once you get past maybe that first, second checkpoint, it can really snowball from there.
Yeah, and Kater, I wonder what we're gonna see from these teams on Tower Control, Inkblot. Another map where I think we can see a very fast-paced game, and it's another map where you need to be really quick with your pushes in order to take advantage. The spawns are obviously so close to mid, like you don't have a lot of distance travel, so you need to really maximize that time where you have an advantage, where you have more players alive, and push that objective, get map control. And Fatman 360 obviously did a very good job of that in that first game. I wonder how Potato Moon's going to respond. I'm not sure if maybe they're going to need to adjust their composition a little bit, their weapons, or just maybe look to just play with each other more and make sure they're not going in alone.
Yeah, definitely. There were just great opportunity taking out of them in the last match. So that's going to have to hold up here as we load into the second match of this set.
Yep. And now we see Potato Moon kind of sticking with a similar-ish composition. They have a Hydra in the mix now, which will really shake things up. Kind of that long-range Splatling to maybe rival Dr. Doom. And it's something we've seen a lot from Arctic Moon in the past, now this pickup with IPS. But Fatman 360 getting off to a very fast start, once again getting that early 3 kills with that Inkjet helping out and the armor combination. And they use all those specials already, those bubbles, to help them. Look at the purple map, just again a really fast opening, and this might be shades of what we saw in game 1, Kater.
Yeah, definitely. With the combination of the Junior and the Splash on the side of Fatman 360, they have a lot of inking power, and unfortunately it looks like that double gal on the side of Potato Moon really can't contest that. They do throw the Booyah and force the Splatling, and that's actually But actually, that's a full wipe on the side of Potato Moon. And I was gonna say maybe the push ends there, but the push actually keeps going. We see amazing aggression up front out of this splash. They're just gonna go around the side here and continue to put pressure on Potato Moon from another different angle. And Fatman360 already very quickly getting through the last checkpoint, and it looks like they're just gonna snowball it to a KO.
Yeah, the uses of specials, the positioning of these players, they knew exactly where they wanted to be at every point of that push. They pushed up so quickly to keep that aggression going. They used their specials at times to just shut down whatever ideas Potato Moon had. Whatever ideas they had, they just seemed to know exactly how to respond. And again, another really balanced performance. We see 4 armors, 4 inkjets, and 2 bubbles in that short game. A knockout for Fatman360. They're going up 2-0, and they're looking very dominant right now. I'm not sure what Potato Moon can do to respond. Splatoon Skipper is a very different beast, though, and I wonder if you see a comeback in the works, or I don't know. What do you think they can do to respond here?
I mean, you are very right in that Splat Zone Skipper Pavilion is just so different because although Splat Zones is the lockout mode, but you actually have 2 ways to push in from Skipper. You can focus on the top or the bottom. You can try and split your resources, and so that's why I do like watching games on Skipper Pavilion, because teams can make a lot of different decisions whether they want to split up between top or bottom, or they want to all push in from one direction. And so making the wrong decision can cost a game, or making the right decision can win you a game. So and also the zone is just so big, it takes so much effort to actually cap the zone, usually even a special or 2.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of different strategies you can take into this map mode combination, and I definitely think that it's not over yet. There's a lot that Potato Moon is capable of and could do in this game 3, but they need to do it all right here to take on Fatman360, who's playing so well. If I'm Fatman360, I just stick to exactly what I've been doing, which is, working really well together, making sure that the map's being painted as quick as possible, and just keeping those specials going. That inkjet armor combination is working really well, and the bubbles to enforce that map control and let them have space to work is working really well. As we see the Tenna brother coming out from Potato Moon's side, and the Hydra now on Fatman's side. So pretty interesting here, but the double gal is staying in effect, and I'm just worried about that paint control that we might struggle to see from Potato Moon's side. But we're getting started. This is game 3. This is win or go home for them.
Yeah, actually, I was going to comment on strong openings that we have been seeing out. These very strong openings that we've been seeing from Fatman360, getting 3 down very early on in that tower game, and they do yet again. But no, actually, I'm getting teams confused.
Potato Moon is the one in the lead right now with this opening. Very different from those first 2 games, although Fatman is able to contest and take the zone back for now, but it's still a 4v4 situation. This Tenebrata is going to give Potato Moon some room to work. A big pick there. Now the Hammer coming out, getting another pick, getting 2 picks. That's a triple kill for Shinex, and Twig or Dark finishing off that last member. That was a huge play by Shinex with that Tenebrella. So maybe that weapon switch working in their favor right now. Still far from over though, but they have a lot of map control to work with, and this is very good for Potato Moon. This could be the start of something big, a start of a big comeback, Katie.
Yeah, we see all those booyahs going out across the team, and those are very well deserved. I mean, this is practically an opposite of what we've been seeing. Very strong, just opening, and then a very great play by that tent. Fortunately, the baller getting denied by the wall there, so this gal is forced to take a different angle, and actually, that different angle pays off for them. They get a double out of that, and they take control of the zone. That means that Potato Moon has gone 3 down, with the tent being the last one alive, and so this is what Fatman360 is looking for. They have the map control, they have all that they need right here to start a lockout. But in Splat Zone's game, Splat Zone's games just go like this. Pushes go on for so long, you get locked out, that they tend to be very close like that.
Yeah, really great response from Fatman360, and I wonder if Potato Moon was not ready after that baller push. Maybe they expected Fatman to take it a bit more slowly since that baller didn't come through, but Fatman, they know how to push and they know how to keep the aggression going, and they're sticking to that. They're not taking any stops as they are really closing in on this lead now. The Squid Bag can come out at that full wipe. Jessica playing very confidently as they take the lead there. With the team member jumping to them, that is going to be very hard for Potato Moon to come back in these last 20 seconds No specials on our side right now, but the 10 umbrella is down. Dark gonna have to use those missiles. A 2v2 situation. But in a 2v2, you don't have a lot of paint to work with, so they're gonna need to try their best to just stall out the zone. You need to get your team members to side, but that ink mine is gonna be too much. In the end, it's something like an ink mine that shuts you down, and that's gonna be a 3-0 victory for Fatman, looking very good in that entire set.
Yeah, it looked like Potato Moon had a counter push on just online, but unfortunately they were unable to get the cap and apply the penalty that they needed, and so the game just snowballed to a KO for Fatman 360. And like you said, a very dominant set, but that last Splat Zones game was actually a good push. I mean, that tent switch really worked out in the favor of Potato Moon, and so it looked like they did get their wits about them and did start changing up to adjust to Fatman 360, but unfortunately it was just not enough.
Yeah, I just really love how Fatman was never too hesitant to get a push going. They absolutely believed in their skills with their weapons, and it worked out very well for them. And they're going to be waiting in finals. I'm not sure who they're going against quite yet, but I think we have some things to talk about before we go to grand finals.
Is that so?
I believe so. I think we have some ads. So I'm going to get us started with those.
All right.
If you are interested in supporting IPL and our prize pools for these tournaments, you should maybe think about doing so if you have the means. We got streamlabs.com/IPL Splatoon. I don't know, maybe the link will be on stream or something. Maybe it's below the stream. Maybe it's somewhere. Maybe it's in the chat.
It's somewhere. You gotta find it, but it's there.
But yeah, we will absolutely put your money to support our wonderful teams who come out and show up every tournament, and teams like Fatman who show some dominance, and everywhere in between. I got called a stinker, and it's in the chat. So, Cater, just take the next ad if you can.
Yeah. Well, IPL also has staff applications open for Swimmer Sync and Testing Grounds, and there's we're also always looking for additions to production and commentary teams. So if you're interested in helping out in any of these areas, you can fill out the form found at iplabs.inc, iplabs.inc/help-us, which will redirect the form. And if you're interested in helping out in more than one area, you can fill out the form multiple times.
Yeah, for sure. And
that's actually how I got onto the commentating team. I applied there and got a DM saying, "Hey, can you commentate?" And now I'm here.
Look at that. And yeah, as someone who's been working TOing for like a few years now, everyone starts somewhere. So if you want to be a part of some beautiful Splatoon tournamenting, don't be afraid to apply. But I think that's all we need to talk about right now. We might be ready for our grand finals ? Or another semis. I'm not sure, or we're gonna go to a break actually because we're not quite ready. But don't go anywhere. We've got more swim or sink action coming soon. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll be right back with you. And we're back. We're going to grand finals. We have Fatman360, who we just saw come off a 3-0 victory in our last set. And they're going against 99.9, who also won their semi-set 3-0. So we've got two Titans ready to battle it out. Two pickups of very good players. I think 99.9 has some players who were previously playing with some of the best teams in North America way back last year. And just some very good players all around. I think K-Pro is Nolan. We've got people like Legend, Fatman360. You saw them. You saw what they did last sets. And if you didn't see, they were very, very good. So, I'm joined once again by Kater, still with us for Grands. How are you feeling?
Hello, yes, that is me. I'm feeling great. I mean, we just came off of, like you said, a very dominant set by Fatman360, so I'm excited to see how they take this momentum going into Grands. Actually, like you said, both of them have great momentum. You know, winning your semi-set 3-0 always feels good. So I want to see whether Fatman360 continues to deliver those great openings that we've been seeing.
Yeah, but they have quite the competition obviously ahead of them. They're going against the 2 seed in the event, and they have won their last 2 sets 3-0, so they are cruising along. And we are going to get started here. Game 1, Splatoon's Anchovy. I think this is a map where opening strong is very, very important. We've got two very aggressive comps. We got the heavy on one side, though, that could pose a problem if Fatman gets off to a great start. Or should I say, no, I think the colors are switched, actually. So we should be looking at 99.9 in the orange. No. Yes, in the orange. We're spectating from Fatman's view right now as the zones trade places. Just want to make sure we're clear. As, yeah, we're going. We're going, Kater.
We are certainly going. I mean, this zone is just getting switched back and forth, as finally we see the K-Pro on the side of 99.9 go down. That's actually 2-3 down, a full wipe on their side, as the Hydra just pushing up into mid and placing ink mines on those zones. I mean, we saw the ink mine pretty much just save the game, you know, deny the end cap on that Skipper Zones game, so those mines could very much come into play. And already down to the low 50s as the Hydra's just guarding the zone, and the rest of, I believe, Fatman360 just pushing very, very far up.
Yeah, and what I like to see is, again, Fatman360 not wasting any time to push up. They saw that zone flipping back and forth at the beginning, but they knew that they had room to move up with, and they were able to take the zone with that and to get some pressure going on. But 99.9 not too slow to respond on their own, although they do get wiped once again. They are able to get the penalty, so they're buying themselves some time here, a minute and a half into the game, but they're not able to get Fatman out of their spawn just yet. We see that jump to Kylie there, as by the way, Fatman seems to have changed their name, so it's a bit hard to keep track of all of them, but just know we got some very good players here. They're going to back up wisely. They don't want to die out when they have this pressure. They have all the map to work with. They can let 99.9 move forward a bit, as they have cornered this Booyah Bomb here. K-Pro going to go down there, get stuck alone with no teammates to support them. Maybe just a miscommunication on that push there, and Superfart move up here. As we're down to 20 points, I'm not sure if 99.9 will be able to get back in here, but they are stalling the zone right now.
Yeah, they stalled the zone, but unfortunately not able to get that cap, and so we see just all the way down to 9 points, and again, not getting the cap. It is a 2v2 right here, but just barreling to a knockout for Fatman360. Just a very similar start to what we were seeing in the zones games before. I mean, that Hydra was just outranged 99.9 by far, and they really weren't able to contest that, as we saw the Hydra just getting that double just by jumping down into the zone.
Yeah, and like we said, that opening very important there, especially when that Hydra got set up. They just were not able to, even when 99.9 got 1 kill, 2 kills maybe, they were not able to get to that Hydra, who was really that anchor holding it down, letting their teammates jump to them, and of course the pressure from other members on that team as well. They were able to just keep that map control using each other as jumps, and it just seems like 99.9 maybe miscommunicated on a couple of those pushes. We did see that Booyah Bomb get activated and kind of wasted all alone in that left side with no support. And it didn't really seem like all those members were on the same page. So maybe game 2 will be a different story. Maybe they'll be able to work together a bit more. I'm not sure what else you noticed in that game, Katie.
No, I definitely agree with you on that. I mean, communication is a really big point in this game because you've got to have your teammates backed up. I mean, if you're going in 1 by 1, you're just going to have members of the other team jumping on you, and then you're basically giving them free kills. But if you're able to pull together a push, you can definitely break out of a lockout. So it's not impossible to do, you just gotta play your cards right and go about it well. We are going to be moving into Clan Blitz on Inkblot Art Academy, and we did see tower control, I believe, on Inkblot earlier, but this is Clam, so it's a little bit of a different mode.
Have we seen Clams this tournament? Or this we didn't see it last set. Have we seen it? I don't think we saw it last set, so this is going to be the first Clan Blitz me and you are commentating, and pretty excited to see how this goes. It's going to be a big adjustment for these teams here. 99.9 obviously facing some pressure after getting KO'd in Game 1. If you're just tuning in, we're going to Game 2 here. Batman, he had a very solid Game 1 win as Game 2 is starting now.
Yep,
So
yeah, sorry.
You do it. You got this.
Yeah, we do see the same double Splatling comp coming out of Fatman360 with the Sidra and the Nautilus on their side. And then we actually see a little bit of a switch up. We have a Carbon, I believe that is a Carbon Deco on the... Unless that was there before and I didn't notice it. I am just now noticing the Carbon Deco coming out from 99.9. Aw, man. Well, they are still very much outranged by that Hydra. So we're, with the K-Pro pretty much being their only option to contest that from afar. So we're gonna have to see like whether the K-Pro can, or just their members in general can keep the Hydra down, or whether that Hydra's just going to outrange them all as happened in the last game.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, I think we just want to see 99.9 be able to move up a little more quickly in situations where they get some picks, maybe just be able to communicate to their team a bit quicker, but they were not able to do that, even though they did get a quick opening kill. It looks like Fatman360 is going to be coming out on top, at least in this very opening, get some map control, but we do see Sus? The Carbon coming out here with... coming through the side here as two members on Fatman do go through, and this Carbon's putting up a lot of pressure. We see a teammate on the plat with 5 claims at the ready, but they do not have a power claim really close to being acquired here, as now 3 of their own members, and that's a full wipe, as I guess just getting a bit separated there, Cater, as now Fatman moving so quickly, getting the clam all the way to the basket already, and they're going to be able to get some points here.
Yeah, like you said, we saw the Autobomb rush getting popped from the Carbon, but like you said, they really didn't have anything to push off of, and so now a very fast push all the way down to 41 so quickly from Fatman360, and counting as they get even more clams to throw into the basket, and 99.9 already 2 down, and the K-Pro going down too, as all 4 members of Fatman360 are still up, still gathering clams and putting down that pressure again, 2 down, and it just another goes down, and it just seems like they just weren't able to get back in to stop that push. A very smooth 100-0 by Fatman360 to take that second game of the set.
Yeah, if there is a perfect Clan Blitz push, that might be it. That might be a good example of one. Like you said, 100-0 just like that. And I think Fatman360 just knowing exactly where to position themselves, exactly how to rotate between getting clams and putting pressure on the opponent's team spawn. 99.9 just not sure how to get out of that one. And great objective play from Fatman. You cannot take anything away from that. One of the most important things in Clan Blitz is being able to get those clams and making sure that basket doesn't close so you can extend your pushes, and they did it all right there. So again, this is a best of 7 set, so Fatman360 is not on their game point just yet. Still some time to adjust for 99.9, but Cater, they've looked really good, Fatman.
Yeah, they've definitely been just moving so quickly through this set and the last set. I mean, they like you said, 99.9 was able to get a couple of opening picks on Fatman, but unfortunately they didn't really do anything, whether it was just inaction or whether the Hydra just put too much area control on them. And then as soon as Fatman got the picks that they needed, they immediately pushed up and took control of that plat. I mean, Fatman360 have been so strong with their communication and just the way that they've been capitalizing on every little opportunity, because these games move so fast. I mean, 5 minutes sometimes sounds like a long time, but it can feel like nothing when you're in game.
Yeah, for sure, and not even 5 minutes, but it's been knockouts coming out for Fatman 360, so 99.9 has to move really quickly to respond to the way Fatman is pushing. Their aggression and their speed with just all the knowledge that they have and the ability that they have as players is kind of been proving too much for these teams to go up against, but like I said, it's far from over. 99.9 does have a game or two they are able to use to adjust here. And anything is possible. We've seen crazier comebacks in the past as both teams kind of sticking to similar comps. We're going into game 3 here on Tower Control, Starfish. Just another map that has a lot of snowball potential, but we're going to see how these teams open out here.
Yeah, definitely. Again, sticking to the same double splat lane comp on the side of Fatman 360, we see a foil flings actually come out here. A little bit of a pick that I don't see too often, but I really like it coming out. That does afford them a little bit more range, and actually 2 down on the side of Fatman 360, and it looks like actually 99.9 is finally doing what we said they need to do. They're taking advantage of that, the flings that can pushing up, but also staying back to try and not die as they do take control of the tower, and they are pushing it very quickly up to that first checkpoint.
And what I loved from that opening right there for 99.9, what we haven't seen a lot of is they were able to point out who from Fatman is getting separated, and they were able to jump on them as a team. So they're getting easy picks like that with some good teamwork, and they're in a 4v3 situation here. The missiles, I think there's already been 3 missiles this game, by the way, from 99.9, so that's obviously helping a lot with their pressure, but they do go 3 down there. Shadowwind being forced to try to back up here, and again, Fatman with a response of their own very quickly. A sneaky bomb kill there, but also the sneaky fall off from the knot. Just some great kills going back and forth here, but Fatman 360 in a great position to start pushing up here with almost all their specials at the ready.
Yeah, as a Splatling player myself, fall off feels so nice to get. And so that was a very, very nice opportunistic kill out of Madness, who we see here on the Inkjet, looking for a pick on the flings that doesn't get it, but does force them to push back. A fallback, excuse me. They do unfortunately get taken out on the tower, and actually that means Fatman 360 is going to go 3 down. The Junior still keeping up the pressure, but unfortunately does go down, does take the splash with them though. And so we see 99.9 taking that opportunity to push back. I mean, we see the map very quickly getting turned purple, so they've finally been able to realize how important that map control is for them. Legend here on the Neo Splash going up on Snipe very quickly, pushing in. They're doing such a nice job, and it looks like they've just finally got what they need down, and they're executing everything very nicely.
Yeah, but don't say that too early, as 2 quick kills coming out on the tower from Fatman 360 going to halt that push. 43, not a bad push by any means, but it's going to be up to 99.9 to keep that pressure going like Fatman 360 has been able to in those first 2 games. That Suction Bomb Mirage will slow them down momentarily, but a big pick for Madness to slow down Legend, kind of pushing up a bit alone there. And again, the specials at the ready. This has been an opportunity Fatman has really excelled with before. Can they do it again? The bubbles are going to be just ran through with the K-Pro with the bomb. I think that's SS Nolan right there, and Legend finding that last member alone. So just like that, 99.9 back with a push opportunity. I just really love the way that 99.9 has been able to... They haven't lost their confidence despite being down 2-0. They are pushing on players that they find out of position and just taking their opportunities really well. K-Pro almost going down to a sneaky bomb there, and it looks like they're not able to get mid despite that wipe there.
Yeah, I mean, they've been fighting back certainly much more than we've seen in the past 2 games. The past 2 were speedy knockouts, and we're already down to the last minute and 45 seconds of this game. And actually, 3 down on the side of Fatman 360, and so we do see the foil flings getting on tower, and so now they are taking that opportunity. They finally do have mid pretty much back, but unfortunately, the Nautilus just coming with a sneaky pick on tower, and so the push yet again is halted, and they go 2 down. This might just be exactly the opening that Fatman 360 needs to take back this game.
Yeah, for sure. We haven't seen a big push like we have seen previously from Fatman with their push opportunities, but they are obviously capable of it. And any moment that 90.9 slips even a little bit, we can expect these guys to take advantage. The Inkjet coming out once again. As Inkjet has not gotten the picks it's wanted previously in this game, this is a big opportunity. The missile is going to have to make it a bit difficult and not be able to push, but look at the map control. The tower is moving up there. 1 member goes down, forced to pop the B-bomb a bit early, but 2 down on the side now. It's a 2v2 situation. The tower is getting halted. We can't see it just yet, but Madness looking to go to the tower. It's going back a little bit. 99's doing a great job stalling the objective with only 40 seconds left. We're going to have to see if Fat Man is able to get this push going to take the lead.
Yeah, 43 to 55 right now. Fatman 360 just needs to touch that second checkpoint in order to get the win. They have control of the tower right now. They're just very slowly inching it up. We're going to the last 30 seconds of this game. Both members have both teams, have all 4 members up. A very nice pick out of Madness, but immediately gets taken down. That's actually 2 down on the side of Fatman 360. So with Legend just firing onto the tower there, when we see, I think that's a suction bomb rush if I'm not mistaken, come out. And so this could just be a last-ditch overtime push for Fatman 360 as Legend finally getting taken down. But the Nautilus gets taken down, and actually the person riding tower also gets taken down, so that's going to be a very swift end to overtime, and 99.9 taking their first game of the set with a very, very well-fought game.
Yeah, and you love to see the response from 99.9. A lot of teams going down 2-0 against a great team like Fatman 360 would... a lot of them would just crumble and not have that confidence in that game 3 situation, but that's a big win for them. They didn't give up. They knew that they had what it takes to get those pushes going and get the picks that they needed. And I was very impressed with how they played that game, especially that last minute. They had the composure to basically survive maybe 2 or 3 pushes from Fatman 360. They didn't get a full wipe for that last minute to minute and a half, but they were able to stall the tower just enough, use their specials, and avoid kind of those wipe situations at the end to just keep that small lead that they had. And I'm just very impressed with their composure there in that game 3 situation, Katie.
Definitely, those few points ended up meeting everything, and like you said, they stalled out very nicely. I mean, Fatman 360, we've seen great aggression from that, but unfortunately, 99.9's defense was just everything it needed to be. But speaking of aggression, actually, we are going into Rainmaker on Blackbelly Skate Park, which has the potential to be extremely high scoring and extremely back and forth. So that will probably only just aggravate what we've been seeing out of these two teams here.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those probably very fast-paced games, and a big push can happen so quickly here. We're going to need both teams to play with confidence. And honestly, it might just come down to which team is able to execute better on their pushes here, as there's not a lot of room for mistakes. If you slip up once, it could be a knockout before you can even blink here. So a big game for here. Either 99.9 can tie, or Fatman can put themselves in a position where they are 1 game away. So Fatman 360, 99.9. We've gone to game 4 here in this grand final. Swimmer Sync 22. I love this map mode. Me and this map mode have a very loving relationship. I don't know about everybody in the crowd, but this is a banger. I love this.
Yeah, I will actually agree with you on this one. Maybe it's just because I'm a funny little C-Jet player. I do my funny little Ray spam and I stop the pushes, but I really like Rainmaker on Blackbelly Skate Park just because it lends itself so well to my strengths with the range and the rays, so I would not be surprised to see a C-Jet or some other similar ray weapon coming out on this. But then again, we might also not see, and actually there is the ray on the side of Fatman 360 with the V Heavy on coming out of Dr. Doomed. So we see, other than that, pretty much similar comps out of both teams. Seems like they found. Sorry, it seems like they found what they like and they're sticking to it.
Yeah, 99.9 definitely going with a very similar comp to they had last game where they were successful. But it looks like Fatman 360 definitely getting a bit more ink in this opening. But that Booyah Bomb behind Man is going to separate them from their team. They are going to go down. Great job from 99.9 recognizing and immediately grabbing the Rainmaker. Going to try to get some pressure going here early, which is exactly what they need. We see the armor of 3 specials, I think, coming out there from Fatman 360 to just halt that push right before it stops. They don't want to get that momentum going against them. They want to stop that early before it snowballs. So a great job for Fatman 360 to respond there, as these teams definitely seem evenly matched to start this game. We're already a minute in. I don't know if you can believe that, but that's how fast this map mode moves.
Yeah, I mean, you pointed out already a minute, and it felt like pretty much nothing. But again, just so fast-paced. I mean, Actually, very similar comps out of both teams. I've just realized that we're seeing both a Junior and a Neo Splash on the side. Both teams. Another break coming out of the V Heavy here, forcing the Neo Splash to jump out, and with the map pretty much being very blue here, and also the Inkjet coming out, it looks like Fatman360 is setting up for a push of their own. Exactly what they're going to do. The Inkjet forcing two of the players on the side of 99.9 to devote their resources to it, and unfortunately the push does get stopped. It goes down to 45, which may seem like a lot, but to be honest, on a map mode like Black Belly Rainmaker, it can be absolutely nothing if the other team bounces back.
Yeah, and it looks like a full wipe there. 99.9 able to find all 4 members of Fatman360 and take them down. This is a big opportunity. Anytime you get full wipe for even a few seconds, now they have the specials coming out on 99.9 side. They're going to be able to get a lot of map control here, but the only question is, will they be able to get that Rainmaker forward with it? We see Legend playing very aggressively here, but not separating from their teammates, waiting for that Rainmaker, trying to push it slowly but surely. But Fatman360 getting enough defense, super fart there. I think with the burst bomb, taking it out there and getting 2 kills of its own. 3 kills now on the side of Fatman360, and they're gonna need to make sure to get this Rainmaker out. If you leave it alone, that could be the lead loss. So. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case, as we're going to reset back to this middle of the map and the aggressive break coming out. Now it's Fatman360's turn.
Yeah, we saw that sneaky pickup in the, I believe, previous set that we watched. So you gotta keep an eye on that Rainmaker, and that's exactly what they did. We see the suction rush coming out of the other Neo Splash. Does get a pick, but unfortunately not early enough, and the push does get stopped. 2 down on the side of both teams, and actually the missiles single targeting the Splash, but not managing to take them out there. So it looks like that is going to be the end of the push, but not before they get it all the way down to 38, as we're going to the last 2 minutes of this match here. 99.9 is in control of the Rainmaker, but they need to get those picks before they push up. Suction Rush coming out of 99.9, Armor coming out of Fatman360, and the Rainmaker actually forced to push back a little bit, but the Junior now on the side of Fatman360 is down. So this could be an opportunity for 99.9.
Yeah, and a big pick there from Nolan here on that K-Pro. But 2 of their teammates going down, so the push is going to stop there. Nolan just trying to control this left side, trying to play it a bit slow, but does get rushed up on Pi Superfart. Might not get tired of saying that name anytime soon, so I hope this set continues for a long while. But Fatman360 now playing very fast here. They're finding those 2 picks, and they have this bomb rush at the ready that's going to give them so much room to work with. 99.9 has to get up very quickly if they're going to want to stop the bleeding here, as this is a big chance for them to extend this lead. They're playing on this right side, but Superfire pushing all the way up, and the aggressive Ray going to give this Rainmaker room to move. So many big picks from Superfire. Has not died in this entire push, and it might be a KO, but the barely 1-point stop, but it's not over yet. They need to finish out this push. They cannot let that Rainmaker get touched at all, and they are able to stop it, but with only 1 point to spare. They need the KO with just under a minute to go.
Yeah, that was a full wipe on the side of Fatman360, but unfortunately 99.9 was so far pushed back that they looks like they weren't able to take control as much as they wanted to. However, we do see the K-Pro and already the Rainmaker very far up, seeing the Booyah Bomb coming out. They actually have all 4 of their specials, including this Booyah Bomb, online. If I don't... Oh, but that's a very unfortunate bomb death. Splat Bomb timed so nicely to catch them just as they were falling, and unfortunately the Rainmaker gets taken out there, and with delayed 3 down, it looks like they're just gonna stall the Rainmaker back here. I mean, call it cheesing, but if it guarantees you the win, why not do it? And just with the last 10 seconds, I don't think you see the Rainmaker just getting backed up here by Kylie on the Junior, and that's just gonna be it. I mean, 3 down on the side of 99.9. What can you do? We see the squid bag to end off the game, and wow, what a hard fought game. What are we on? 4?
4. That was a game 4, and that's a big game 4 that's going to put Fatman360 within 1 game of the tournament. And I love the way they closed that game out. They got that, first of all, that you might call it lucky, but very well placed Splat Bomb from the side of Fatman360 to get that first pick, and they recognized that they were able to jump on the objective, stop the Rainmaker, and as soon as they got the advantage in how many squids they had alive, they both had multiple members push up to get that map control, and they had the Rainmaker pull back. And while you see it say Rainmaker free zone, that does not stop you from taking the Rainmaker there at the end of the game. It does make the timer go faster. You can't stay there forever, but they know with that little time left, they can just pull it back, keep the Rainmaker as safe as possible, where the enemy team is not able to get anywhere near it. So very good closeout from Fatman360 in that game. And now 99.9 is on their last legs. They were able to do it down 2-0, take that game, but they need to now win 3 in a row if they have any idea or any chance of winning this tournament. Fatman 360s look very good. We know they're not invincible. Splatzone's the Reef. What do you think they can do, Cater? Either of these teams to secure this win?
In the previous Splat Zones match we saw on Anchovy, it was a very dominant lockout by Fatman 360. I mean, especially with that Hydra that outranged all of 99.9. 99.9 just really wasn't able to make it back to the zone, and it was a KO for Fatman 360. So I'm interested to see if history is going to repeat itself, and we'll see that again. But we've also seen 99.9 adapting a little bit. I mean, especially in that tower control match, they had a very nice fight against Fatman. So it could really go either way. And we actually double junior here out of I believe that is Fatman 360. Yeah, the colors were momentarily switched, I think. And I mean, it could work. I don't know whether it's an intentional meme or whether it's an actual comp, because we haven't seen that double splatling, but it could definitely work. I mean, the Knots, they had a Nautilus player getting very nice kills this whole game, so I'm still confident in their ability.
I mean, Nautilus is a very strong weapon, as well as Junior, very obviously highly used weapons. And I know all of these players are very proficient in those weapons that they picked. And this is a very close quarters map, so why not put that focus on paint? Why not put those focus in that Nautilus killing power? And so far it's working out for them. They did have control for a second there. The zone's kind of going back and forth. No team with a clear advantage just yet. We look at the overview. We see it's just very split map, but it looks like Fatman 360 is to a bit of advantage, just outplaying and forcing the jump out of 99.9. We see Kylie here just painting as much room as they can, getting the armor to put so much pressure on right now, as 99.9 cannot waste too much time getting back to the zone here. Kylie obviously just focus on map control like a junior is going to do, but it looks like 2's going to go down to just some well-timed kills. Nolan now on the offensive, and that's 3 kills from 99.9. So just like that, back and forth to start off this game.
Yeah, and so we are not going to see a repeat of what we saw last time. It is going to play out like that tower control game, back and forth, and both teams looking for that opportunity. I mean, 52 seems like a lot, but already we are down into the low 60s, 10 points within the lead for 99.9, and if Fatman 360 doesn't move, they are going to lose the lead. But, you know, as I say that, we have the Inkjet getting popped from the Knot, we have an armor getting popped, and so they do neutralize the zone, 1 point within the lead for 99.9. And as we see, this junior just struggling to keep control of the zone, but with both juniors down, that's going to be the lead for 99.9 there, as they are getting these very nice picks in order to keep their push alive, forcing another Nautilus, I believe, to jump out. And so now it's both Knots down, and the junior's the only one left on the field.
Yeah, definitely some memories of Fatman 360 getting a bit cut off from their teammates right now, and 99.9 moving very well as a team to recognize that, cut them off, and build on this lead with less than 20 points to go, and a Booyah Bomb that's going to help secure one of these zones at least. But the Booyah Bomb comes down right when they try to pop it. Madness recognizing where that player is at the perfect time to give them a chance, but they have not much time left. 1 junior down, 1 Nautilus down on that team. That's 2 Nautilus down, and that's going to be 99.9. They're still hanging out for now, but there it is. There's the knockout, and we're not done yet, everybody. We have a game 6 on the way with 99.9 with a knockout of their own. Definitely different from that last zone's game where Fatman was very dominant. We see a very well played game for 99.9. Did everything they needed to. That paint was working very well for them, and honestly, those last 2 wipes. Very impressive, and they did not falter after that. There was a turning point there that they absolutely seized the opportunity of.
Yeah, I mean, 2 Nautiluses and 2 juniors might be fun on their own, but if you have 2 juniors, you have paint but no damage output. If you have 2 Knots, you have damage output but no paint. And when 99.9 was timing those kills very well, Fatman was just kind of staggered in trying to get back in. They didn't have all their resources behind them, and so they got knocked out. And I don't really know what the thought process behind that comp was, but it just seems like it didn't really work out for them. So we're going to be going to a game 6 here on Clamblitz on Mako Mart.
Yeah, and I mean, 99.9 just doing a very good job of capitalizing on their opportunities. I do wonder We'll probably see another switch up in Fatman's comp. I do think that the specials on their side was not really what they were used to. They didn't really have a great special to kind of take map control. You know, they had 2 armor enchant combinations, but you didn't really get the map with that, and that definitely didn't go out in their favor. It's something that we've seen from them in previous games. But looking forward to Clan Blitz. This is that first Clan Blitz game as well, we saw a very dominant 100-0 push from Fatman. So again, it's going to take another adjustment from 99.9. They're going to need to find a way out of their spawn if Fatman is able to get a control here. And again, their backs are still against the wall. They won 1, but they have 2 more to go. They need to be as composed as possible here.
Yeah, and with Mako, I mean, it's the clam basket is just so close to mid that if you don't keep your wits about you at all times, power clams can very much just sneak under your radar. I mean, someone can just climb up onto one of the stacks and dive bomb a clam in. They might die, but they'll still get the clam in. So if you get wiped, that can just spell the end, especially with that very, very quick 100-0 that we saw earlier in the set. And yes, actually, I mean, we do see no more not double junior, but a very different comp than we've been seeing. We see, is that a vanilla rapid pro, if I'm not mistaken, and then also a carbon?
That is indeed a vanilla rapid pro and a carbon, which almost seems like they're taking a page out of 99.9's book. Obviously, Fatman 360 not afraid to experiment here, even in the grand final set, but it's working out for them so far. They already have 3 picks on the board, only the Splash staying alive for 99.9 so far. And look at how fast they're building up the clan count. They're already up to about 20. However, their power clan does go down momentarily. They are able to finally get it to the basket. And look at all this control. Again, this is the moment where 99.9 has to find a way out of spawn. They can't rush in and die. They need to work together as a team here, or else they're going to get a very big push against them. And they're getting out so far.
Yeah, 3 down now on the side of Fatman. You see that Junior surviving for so long with almost every member of 99.9 on them does go down eventually, but we see in the first minute of this game, Fatman 360 has already pushed it down to 50. They do have that hefty 25 penalty though, so even if they get another power climb in, that's not going to be enough to get through their penalty, which could definitely play a huge part in the game later. But right now they do actually already have another power climb. And clan count's actually even right now. Both teams looking for the picks, the opening that they need to start yet another push.
Yeah, I definitely do think that maybe 99.9 could have worked a bit faster and move ahead through those specials, but they do finally find a way to the basket. They do get stopped, though, by Fatman 360. Now this Flings are kind of all alone. Didn't know if to back up or to go for the clam. Decides to go for the clam and gets caught out by Superfart. And look at all the map control. Fatman 360 working a lot quicker there to get to the basket. If you'll notice, they did that in almost a snap of a finger. As soon as they got the kills they needed. And look at how many points on their board. They had so many clams building up while they weren't even in control. And this could be tournament with one more clan. They just need one more clan. Superfart trying to stay alive. 2 teammates behind them. Kylie with the clams to do it. And they make it over 99.9 to seal the tournament. Just like that. That happened so fast, Cater. That what a way to win the entire event just like that.
Yeah, Slimy. I think I blinked and I missed the whole thing. Like, they immediately just turned around from preventing 99.9's push, and they just made a push of their own from 50 all the way down to 100. I mean, down to 0. I'm excited. I'm getting my words mixed up.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely noticed that the whole, like you said, you were pointing out, you know, their clam counts are staying even when it seemed like Fatman 360 didn't really have a lot of control. They were finding ways to get those clams, and 99.9 wasn't really shutting out, you know, their power claim holders. They were kind of just trying to make their way to basket without, you know, thinking about those things like, you know, getting that full map control. And once they were not able to get that push going, Fatman 360, it just gave them so much room to make such a quick push. And since they had the clamps to work with, it was just kind of the perfect recipe for disaster there. But honestly, a very good final set. And congratulations to Fatman 360 for winning it all. I wish I had a better idea of the roster. They had some pretty funny names, but I think we saw Domo, Madness, Gamer. Who was their fourth? Who was Kylie? Stalk? Maybe? I believe so. But congrats to those guys, doing very well there. And any final thoughts on that game or that set, Cater?
Yes, Cater. I mean, not anything that you've already said. I mean, we saw such great aggression out of Fatman 360 out there, and it just won them that final game, did exactly what they needed to do with great both KOs and just long fought 5-minute games there. As a little bit of an ending goodbye, where can the wonderful people in the audience find you on the internet?
Where can they find me? They can find me, it's on the screen, at Slimy Quagsire, if you are interested in keeping up with me. I'm on Twitter. I say a lot of things. I'm also on Twitch, kind of. I'm going to stream, if anyone likes Pokemon cards, I'm going to open some Pokemon cards this weekend, probably. So, hey, maybe follow my Twitch. Since you're already on the website, just move on over. I'll even say hi in the chat. Bam, just click it. So that's me. And how about you, Kater?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Cater_, and I do commentate a bunch of other events, so I will be just posting about those. You can catch me on a lot of other streams. And actually, before we leave, we've got a couple of other things to say. First off, you can actually, you'll find us at IPL, in a few days actually, running Reef Rushdown 2, which is going to be on March 20th. So in 3 days, it's our new bi-weekly tournament at IPL, and it's going to be aimed at the Oceania region. So it is every other Saturday at 1 p.m. AEDT, which is 9 p.m. EDT on Friday. And it goes from a Swiss to single elimination format. If you want more details on that, you can, if you're not already in the IPL Discord, you can join that. The link will be somewhere. Chat, probably.
In the chat. So yeah, that's Refresh on Tune. And another great tournament coming up this weekend as well. We've got Splatoon Amateur Circuit Season 3. So we're going to be getting to the finals for that event. It's another great event that's been going on for quite a while. And again, that's this Saturday, the 19th, I think that's Saturday. The 19th, cheer on SAC's top 8 teams in season finale, because whoever comes out on top gets a starting prize of $235. So the stream will start an hour earlier, so be there at about 4 p.m. Eastern time, the 19th. And yeah, they'll take care of you there. So you might want to check out their Discord. We'll be in chat, I believe. And
the 20th actually, but yes.
The 20th? Oh man, I am so sorry. Anyways.
Yes, and then, but yep, everything else you said was right. And then finally, we have Squid Junction, which is another bi-weekly tournament, hosted on Sundays at 7 p.m. EDT, and it is a double elimination tournament, and it's open to everyone. It also now offers a counterpick format with a newly condensed map pool that was actually voted on by the community. So the 4th Squid Junction will be this Sunday on March 21st, so do sign up for that. A link should be in the chat. And also on screen right now.
Yeah, pretty beautiful slide there. And I think that's all the ads we've got today. So Refresh Down, Splatoon Amateur Circuit, both on the 20th, that's Saturday, the 20th. Although I think Refresh Down's at nighttime Friday in America. Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah. Friday night for us Americans. Saturday afternoon for the Australians. And then Saturday evening-ish is Splatoon Amateur Circuit. So, there's the timeline. I hope I didn't confuse anyone. I probably confused everyone, including myself. But that's all I've got. And I think I can finally let you guys go. Any last words, Peter?
Well, I had a very good time commentating with you, Slimy, and I hope that everyone watching had as good as a time I did. I mean, this was a very nice semis and grands to watch out here, and I bid you all in the audience a very good night or day or afternoon, depending on your time zone.
I wish the same. So this is my last good night. I promise. Be good to each other. See you again soon. And support your tournament streams. Good night, guys.